not so today. A balmy 46 degrees as the Raiders meet the Buffalo Bills. The AFC wildcard race. Buffalo still thinking about a division title. Oakland fading fast. They've dropped 3 in a row. Hi, everybody. Ian Eagle along with Mark May. Great to be with you from Orchard Park. The Oakland Raiders are trying to avoid another December swoon. A win would keep them in playoff contention, and they're putting their struggling offense in the hands of the ancient one, Wade Wilson.
Well, they wanted experience at the quarterback position, and they're going to get it from Wade Wilson. 18 years in the NFL. We talked to Wade yesterday. He told us, hey, it's my second start since 1993. At least I've got fresh legs.
And he's 2 months shy of his 40th birthday. As for the Buffalo Bills, really one of the great stories in the NFL. They started 0-3. They've won 8 of their last 10. And a lot of that certainly has to do with Doug Flutie. But he's got a receiver who could be the hottest wideout in the NFL. Eric Moulds is making a name for himself, Mark.
And he's doing it very quietly. Everyone's talking about Moss from Minnesota, but Eric Moulds has had a magnificent year thus far. If they need a big play offensively, they go to Eric Moulds.
Buffalo trying to clinch a playoff berth as they take on the Oakland Raiders. The kickoff is coming up from upstate New York.
To see a bit of what makes Dodge Intrepid fast, let's cut to the quick. It has a sparkling 200 horsepower gem of an aluminum engine, grippy independent suspension, crisp steering, and a highly functional driving space. Intrepid demonstrates a lot of powerful thinking, no matter how you slice it. Well equipped, $20,495.
Back at Orchard Park, the Bills and the Oakland Raiders. Buffalo at 8-5, the Raiders 7-6. Wade Phillips, first year as the head coach of the Bills. He's done a terrific job. The perfect temperament for this team, but he is winless in his career against the Raiders. And John Gruden, first half of the year, some were talking maybe coach of the year. Still has done an outstanding job, but he needs to get this team back on track. A loss, and they will probably be out of the playoff race. Leo Aragus will kick it off for the Oakland Raiders. Kevin Williams, the return man for the Buffalo Bills. Bills coming off an impressive win over Cincinnati. Raiders a loss at home to Miami. Donald Hollis, the quarterback, was intercepted 6 times. Aragus on the kickoff, and it's Williams from the 9. Williams tackled as he came up just shy of the 25-yard line. 15-yard return. Mike Morton making the tackle on special teams. Doug Flutie, he has been simply incredible at home as a starter, undefeated in the NFL. Offensive line, the big story, Jamie Nails stepping in for the injured Reuben Brown. Nails getting his first start out of Florida A&M. Backs and receivers, Antoine Smith, 77 yards shy of the 1,000-yard plateau. On a 1st and 10. Thurman Thomas starting in the backfield on first down. And this play never gets going as flags come down.
All right, that'll be offsides in the Oakland Raiders.
Encroachment. Number 24, defense. 5-yard penalty. Remains first down.
That's the rookie, Charles Woodson, getting caught right off the bat.
Right there's Charles Woodson. He's in that neutral zone right there. He touches a wide receiver. You can't do that before a play is called. And he's just getting a little frisky out there and aggressive. He knows it's a big game for this Oakland Raider football team.
Woodson in a matchup with Eric Moulds. Now Antoine Smith has come on the field for first down for Buffalo. On the handoff, Smith barreling his way across the 30-yard line on a 1st and 5 following the penalty. The Oakland Raiders defense. Wade Phillips talking about the masterful work of Darrell Russell and Russell Maryland. The defensive line in general has done good, strong work for this Raiders D. Linebackers, Greg Biekert leading the team in tackles with 106. And in the secondary, Charles Woodson, the only starter remaining from opening day because of various injuries. After the 3-yard pickup, Smith and Gash in the backfield, Lonnie Johnson in motion. On 2nd and short, Flutie will put it in the air for the first time. Off the pump fake. Flutie trying to run, and not much there for him to work with as he got back to the line of scrimmage, the 32-yard line. James Harris tracking him down.
And that's what the Oakland Raiders have to do. They have to run and chase down Doug Flutie because he'll come up with an imaginative play. But Doug Flutie in the pocket will make something happen. It's a play-action pass. He's got time. He can look downfield, fakes the throw, then takes off running and tries to make something happen. And that's how good Doug Flutie's been this year. He can always make something happen with the football. That's why he's starting today.
Flutie now facing a 3rd and 3, a loss of 1 on that play. 15-7 as an NFL starter in his career. Thomas in the backfield on 3rd down. Flutie a quick toss, and it's incomplete. He was looking for Moulds. Coverage from Charles Woodson.
And that's a play that they'd like to have back. That's a catch Eric Mould should have. It's a simple slant pattern. The Raiders show blitz. He's one-on-one against Woodson. He gets off the line of scrimmage, and the ball's right in his hands. That's a catchable ball. But I'll tell you what, Charles Woodson, that's magnificent defensive coverage. Being right there, as soon as the ball hits his hands, he grabs him by the arms and tries to strip the ball. That's a rookie you're watching right there. He could be a Pro Bowler the way he's played this year.
Chris Moore, 41.4 punting average, an off year for Moore. Booting it away for Desmond Howard, who returns from injury. Retreats back to the 19. Howard trying to make something happen. He has a lane. Desmond Howard getting across the 40-yard line, and good field position for Oakland to start with following the 23-yard punt return. A 50-yard punt from Moore. Wade Wilson, 67th NFL start. He will turn 40 on February 1st. Great attitude. He wants to be a coach probably at the end of this season. I don't think he expected to be in this spot week 15 of the NFL. Wilson getting the nod. Hollis ineffective last week and an injured left wrist. On 1st and 10, whistles blow. Harvey Williams getting the start in the backfield and getting the call, but the play never gets off.
Prior to the snap, full start, number 72, offense. 5-yard penalty, remains first down.
Bill Carollo, our referee here today, and Lincoln Kennedy is tagged with the first Oakland penalty of the day.
And that's big Lincoln Kennedy out there. Big Lincoln Kennedy, the right tackle. And what the Raiders came is they came in with their big package, the big tight end. They didn't have their fullback in there. Now they go with their fullback. They want to run the ball and establish their own early.
Randy Jordan now on the game for Oakland. On 1st and 15, Wilson on the give. Harvey Williams bounced around as he crossed the 40-yard line. Phil Hansen, the first man to get there, and Sam Cowart, the rookie out of Florida State, finished him off. Oakland Raiders offense, Mo Collins getting the call at left tackle, and probably the biggest assignment of his career going against perennial Pro Bowler, future Hall of Famer Bruce Smith. Harvey Williams making his first start for the injured Napoleon Kaufman, out with the banged-up groin. Williams is in the backfield, split with John Ritchie. Tim Brown in motion for Oakland. On 2nd and 11, Wade Wilson to throw. On the dump off, he's got James Jett. Shy of the 50-yard line, shy of the first down. But the short passes, something expect a great deal of today from Wilson. Trying to get the ball off early and try to keep him in the pocket so he doesn't have to roam.
James Jett just outside, goes a simple crossing pattern, underneath pattern. Wade Wilson gets in the ball, reaches back for it, but makes the reception. Expect a lot of these type of passes. The wide receivers on the outside going deep, clearing it out for the wide receivers on the inside, and tight ends coming underneath, so Wade Wilson can drop the ball off with easy percentage completions.
Now Oakland facing a 3rd and 3. Buffalo in the dime package, the crowd very energetic. And a timeout call. Oakland calls the timeout. No score with 12:05 left in the first.
Guess what? Susie Fetterman got sick, so I don't have to be the dumb dinosaur. I get to be the peacock.
Great. Peacock.
Want to get away? Southwest has your ticket to freedom. For only $99 or less, you can fly coast to coast when you purchase by December 16th.
You are now free to move about the country.
A company most people never heard of is changing the way we fight cancer and kidney failure. By inducing the body to produce blood cells, chemotherapy and anemia patients are gaining new strength. Helping to grow blood cells helped Amgen become the world's largest biotech company. Where do you learn about companies with such pioneering spirit? Exactly. NASDAQ Amex, the market of markets.
For 3 days only, Zales has the lowest prices of the season on beautiful jewelry, like this $199 diamond band that says "I love you" for only $169. And right now, get 12 months interest-free at Zales.
So close. Fast.
The Remington Microscreen 3 gives you 3 things no other shaver can. Our most powerful motor, 150 cutting edges, and 3 flexing microscreens, guaranteed to get you smooth. The Remington Microscreen 3.
Monday, it's Becker on Death.
Have you given any thought to the afterlife?
Are you two going to be there?
Yes, sir. That's why we're here.
Ted Danson is Becker. All new CBS Monday.
A crucial game in the AFC playoff race. Raiders and Bills, no score early on in the first quarter. John Gruden's club has dropped 4 of its last 5 games after getting off to a 6-2 start this season. And Wade Wilson, now the man in control of this offense, on a 3rd and 3 from the 49. A 3-receiver look. Wilson, quick slam, incomplete. And fortunate that Thomas Smith did not pick it off, but Smith is down on the play. Timing pattern, Tim Brown was in the vicinity. Wilson could not make the connection, and then Smith went down.
Wade Wilson throws this ball into traffic, the Buffalo Bills traffic, but Smith is right there on the spot. Kurt Schultz is coming over to make the play, jumps in front of the ball, going for the ball, and lunges out and gets nailed by Tim Brown.
Thomas Smith, now in his 6th year out of North Carolina, 1st-round pick back in 1993. And one of the great things about this Buffalo defense has been the fact that they've been able to stay healthy for the most part. And this is a unit that is familiar with one another. We'll update you on the injury when we come back. Oakland and Buffalo, no score.
I'm blessed with 4 daughters. Oh, I always feel outnumbered. But I wouldn't trade it for anything. If you are going to spend time together watching television, DirecTV is the way to do it. So we headed down to Walmart.
This is DirecTV's digital satellite system. The system comes with a self-installation kit, and the programming starts as low as $19.99 a month. Along with the everyday low prices, Walmart gives you free a 1-year subscription to C Magazine.
There's over 200 channels, and when it's time to shoo them off up to bed, that's my time.
DirecTV at Walmart. Always low prices, always.
27-year-old Thomas Smith, starting right cornerback for the Buffalo Bills, remains on the field at the 12:01 mark of the first quarter. They will help Smith to his feet. We'll take another look.
He's one of the guys in the secondary. They need to stay healthy. Thomas Smith, Kurt Schultz, and Henry Jones have been together 5 or 6 years, so they're very solid defensive secondary, and he just gets run into by his own man, and looks like Tim Smith may have stepped on his foot, but it was a heck of a hit laid on him by his own man, Kurt Schultz.
Smith walking about as gingerly as you can with the aid of Buffalo personnel. That's his dad in the stands looking on. Smith hails from Gates, North Carolina. He's been a part of this defense for a very long time. And we talked about the working relationship between Smith and Schultz and Henry Jones. Also Ken Irvin, who was a big part of this team even as a rookie back in 1995. And Smith just trying to shake it off. It's 4th down, and Oakland forced to punt with Leo Aragus. Kevin Williams waits. Williams, fair catch signal, allows it to bounce into the end zone, and a touchback. 51-yard boot from Aragus. And the Bills will have the football when we return to Orchard Park. Oakland and Buffalo, no score.
For Dodge Intrepid, we looked beyond a great look and took cab-forward architecture to a new place. With a spacious cabin a very useful pass-through, and a cavernous trunk. Intrepid is an automobile for today, wrapped in a shape for the next millennium. Well equipped for as low as $20,495.
I can't do anything without the instructions. Nothing.
It's okay. She's got other presents.
They were just here. They were right here. I just had them.
We'll just hide this till her birthday.
She's been wanting this for a long time. If I only had those instructions.
You looked in the box?
I looked in there.
Did you take everything out of it?
Oh, here they are.
Chicken sandwich or burger? Take a dance with Lady Cluck. Okay, which one?
That one.
This one right here?
Yeah.
Wrong. Burger. You lose.
Eat chicken that looks like chicken. Introducing Subway's Chicken Fajita Sub, topped with Old El Paso thick and chunky salsa. Subway, the way a sandwich should be.
Romeo, oh Romeo, warum denn Romeo? Verleugne deinen Vater, deinen Namen. Willst du das nicht? Schwör dich zu meinem Liebsten.
Germans don't do romance. They do beer, Bex, the best of what Germans do best.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Southwest Airlines, proud sponsor of the NFL and official airline of the Super Bowl. The new Dodge, it's about change. And by Staples, the office superstore.
No score, Oakland and Buffalo with 11:51 to play in the first quarter. And the Bills with their second possession of the day, a 1st and 10 from the 20-yard line. In motion, the tight end Lonnie Johnson.
False start.
On the give, Antoine Smith, no gain. Greg Biekert was ready. One more look at the injury to Thomas Smith. Looked like he may have rolled up on his ankle.
On his back right ankle right there at the end of the play. He rolls up on it, and that appears to be where the injury is on Thomas Smith.
Cannot even put pressure on that right foot. Thurman Thomas checks in for Buffalo. Reed in motion. Thomas cutting it upfield. He's got a first down and then some. Flag down on the play. After the 19-yard pickup from Thomas, Jerry Ostrowski laying out a block, the right tackle. But it will work against the Buffalo Bills.
Tripping, number 74, offense, 10-yard penalty, replay.
And that's young Jamie Nails getting the nod for Reuben Brown.
Well, Jamie Nails has his hands full. He's going against Darrell Russell, who's having a magnificent year this year with 9 sacks and a very active player. And he's getting his first start this season. And Jamie Nails has played well in the preseason, earned his stripes, substituted for Joe Panos, the right guard in preseason because of his injury. And he's played a lot this year because of injury. So the coaching staff of Buffalo, they feel he's ready to go. He's earned his stripes.
One of the many oversized bodies taking part in this game today. We'll get into that as we continue along.
That's not a big body. That's a huge body.
2nd and 20. Jonathan Linton now on the backfield for Buffalo. Flutie to throw. And it's Eric Moulds. Comes up shy of the 30-yard line. Time now for an NFL Today report as we head to New York and Jim Nantz.
All right, Ian, look out for the Rams today. After a Bledsoe interception, Tony Banks to the land of Oz. Azahir Hakim, nifty move, and it's 10-0 already, Rams. Let's go back to Ian and Mark.
And a game the Buffalo Bills are certainly interested in, Jim. And another injury here in Orchard Park. Marquise Walker starting for the injured Eric Allen, as if the Raiders didn't have enough problems.
This team's been banged up the entire year. They're missing 8 starters from opening day. 4 on offense, 4 on defense. Just in the secondary alone, 3 out of the 4 guys are missing. And now with Marquise Walker down, they're very thin in this defensive secondary.
Eric Turner starting free safety, a foot injury. Anthony Newman, ankle and toe injury. Walker being helped to his feet. Sluggish start for both teams here in the first.
Honey, I'm going to Staples to pick up a few gifts. Be back soon.
Attention shoppers,
Looking for the perfect gift? Well, check out aisle 3 for great prices on Sharp mobile organizers. And save on Panasonic phones. No, not you! You! Yes! And I, or any husband, would love one of those nice global chairs. I need a leather one! Get a leather chair!
For great gift ideas and over 7,000 items at guaranteed low prices at Staples. Yeah, we've got that.
You have to dig deep to find the source of Intrepid's solid feel. Reinforced door openings, strategically placed steel beams, and an isolated suspension cradle all contribute to Intrepid's supple ride. Take away that sturdy foundation and you have, well, nothing. Dodge Intrepid. We're changing everything. Again. Well equipped. $20,495.
Evan Petty calls it hot, deliciously hot. Rob DeMars raves, it's spontaneous consumption. It's a story of heat and redemption. From the creators of the Domino's Heat Wave, an epic author. Order a deliciously hot Domino's pizza. Get a free movie rental from Blockbuster Video when you rent another. Hot Domino's Pizza, a hot movie from Blockbuster Video. If you can't take the heat, get out of the doorway. Now get 2 medium pizzas with up to 3 toppings for $13.99. Domino's, delivering 1 million smiles a day.
Many have tried to duplicate the success of 60 Minutes, but if you want something done right, you have to do it yourself. 60 Minutes 2, Wednesdays in January.
A couple of early injuries, one for both teams. Marquise Walker, the latest, starting left cornerback for the Oakland Raiders, so Perry Carter will come in to take his place on a 3rd and 2 for Buffalo. Bills will go with a 3-receiver set. Thurman Thomas in the backfield. Raiders have been strong against 3rd down. Flutie, quick throw to the sideline. Andre Reed open for a 1st down. Picking on Perry Carter, who just checked in for Marquise Walker. And Reed just keeps chugging along in his 14th year. You know, we spoke with John Gruden about Doug Flutie and how he idolized him almost, because he was another 5'9" quarterback. But Andre Reed is a guy that he mentioned to us. Hey, I remember running home to watch Andre Reed play. I loved him as a player.
He was a heck of a quarterback. And the other wide receiver, Eric Mold, says, hey, it's great to have a guy. It's a luxury for me to have a future Hall of Famer on my team that I can learn from. And that's why he's had a great year this year.
222 games played as a member of the Buffalo Bills. Antoine Smith, that big body rumbling along across the 45-yard line. Tackle made by Lance Johnstone on the play.
Good blocking by the offensive line. Just pushing body, staying with your block, but a great job by Antoine Smith of picking away the blockers and finding the hole. And this is what this Buffalo Bills offense wants to do. They've had great success this year of getting their opponents in 3rd and 3, 3rd and 4 situations, and 2nd and short situations, so they can move the ball effectively on 1st down.
6-yard pickup on 1st down. Smith remains in the backfield. Antoine Smith has some running room. Taking it to the sideline. Into Oakland territory, and Charles Woodson finally able to bring him down to the turf. 19-yard gain for Smith. John Fina with a key block.
And John Fina throws a key block, but on the outside, Eric Moulds, number 80, out there blocking for his running back. Everyone sustains their block. Fina has a turnout block. Antoine Smith just follows that crease and finds a hole, but the blocking outside by Eric Moulds, 10, 15 yards downfield on Charles Woodson, allows this play to go an extra 5 to 8 yards.
Another luxury. You talked about Moulds relying upon Andre Reed. Antoine Smith relies upon the veteran Thurman Thomas. On 1st down, it's Smith again. Kept the feet moving as he got it inside the 30-yard line. And a pickup of 5.5. Darrell Russell wrapped him up.
And let's not forget that fullback, Sam Gage. Antoine Smith had never had a fullback in front of him until this year. He's not used to having a guy. He had to be more patient. Now you can see the way he picks apart the hole, waits for his fullback, Sam Gash, to lead in that hole and get a block, and then feeds off Sam Gash's block. And Sam Gash is the guy that tells him, hey, this is where you want to go. Just follow me, and I'll lead you to the promised land.
Gash has been a terrific pickup from New England as a free agent. On the get for Jonathan Linton. Tackle made by Greg Beekert as Linton tried to spin his way for extra yardage. He picked up a couple. It'll be 3rd and short coming up.
And what's impressive about this offense, the offensive coordinator for the Buffalo Bills, Joe Pendry, he spreads the ball around, gets it to his tight ends, both of them, not the first one, Lonnie Johnson, but also Jay Ramirez-Ma, the second tight end, Eric Moulds, the wide receiver, Andre Reed, the wide receiver, but also the backs, Gash, Linton, Antoine Smith, Thurman Thomas, everybody gets a touch on the ball.
Now it's Gash and Linton in the backfield on a 3rd and 3, 8th play of the drive. Johnson was the motion man. Flutie. Able to make the connection to Andre Reed, and a first down for Buffalo. Bucky Brooks the tackle, 9-yard pass play.
And that's just size and strength and experience over a smaller defender. He reaches out for this ball, pushes off Andre Reed, comes back, snatches the ball down in the air, and stretches out for positive yardage. But the key to this block, the offensive line. They allow Doug Flutie to see the passing lanes by setting and cutting the defensive line so he doesn't have to throw his jump pass. He doesn't have to throw over a bunch of arms and hands in the air. He can find that passing lane and throw the ball on those quick outs.
Set it up at the 18-yard line on a 1st and 10. Thomas in the backfield. Doug Flutie working out of the shotgun. Play clock winding down. Flutie going for it all, gunning for the end zone. Kevin Williams, the intended receiver. Incomplete. Missed it by that much.
And that's what I mean about spreading the ball around. Kevin Williams, the 3rd wide receiver on the outside. He goes down, he runs a simple play. He just goes straight ahead right by Bucky Brooks. It's not a fancy pattern. He's wide open, gets behind the defender, but just can't bring the ball in.
Well, he wouldn't have been inbounds. He held on to that football, Mark, amazingly enough.
But that was close. That should have been a touchdown. Doug Flutie takes a little bit off of that pass at 6 points for the Buffalo Bills.
2nd and 10 from the 18. Thomas in the backfield. Thurman Thomas sprawled down at the 10-yard line. 7.5 yards on the run as Richard Harvey got him down low.
And that's the 1-2 punch of this offense in the running attack. Antoine Smith, big bruiser, pounds him on 1st and 2nd down, has the fullback in there, Sam Gash. Then you bring in Thurman Thomas on 2nd and long, 3rd and short, 3rd and 3 or 4. Doesn't have the fullback in front of him. They spread the defense out by spreading the offense out, and it gives Thurman Thomas a chance to pick his holes on the outside.
3rd and 3 from the 11. Thomas remains in the backfield, and Williams the motion man. On the pitch for Thomas, trying to get to the outside, and it's not going to happen. Greg Beekert read that play perfectly.
Great job by Beekert reading that play, slashing through to make the tackle in the backfield. And here's a situation they're going for the first down, and that stops the drive. And that's just the offense not being aware of a blitzer running through. And there goes Beekert right past Jamie Nails. And Jamie Nails has to hit him. If you see an opposite colored jersey go by you, you got to block him.
Steve Christie, AFC Special Teams Player of the Week, 4 for 4 last week, including a 52-yarder. This from 32 yards away. It's good. The Buffalo Bills take the early lead, 3-0, 4:58 left in the first.
At a time when computer companies were building walls of incompatibility, one company envisioned a world without boundaries. They began by building high-powered workstations. Soon their servers became the backbone of the internet and corporate networks. Today, Sun Microsystems has created technology linking all things electronic. Where do you learn about companies whose brilliance lights the way? Exactly. NASDAQ Amex, the market of markets.
Learn that the real challenge doesn't come from the outside, but from within.
Since Dodge Caravan's easy out roller seats have wheels that pop down, reconfiguring the interior is an exercise in convenience. Not an exercise in exercise. Why don't all the other guys make it this easy? Go configure. Now get 1,000 cash allowance or 1.9 financing on Caravan.
In medicine, there are principles.
If you want to be a clown, go join the circus.
Procedures. And then
the hospital will cover all of your bills.
There's Patch.
Any other questions?
Patch Adams, rated PG-13, starts December 25th. Sammo Hung and Arsenio Hall go undercover as convicts.
Sayonara, boys.
All new martial law, CBS Saturday.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by the NASDAQ Amex Market Group, the market of markets, and by Dr. Pepper and your local Dr. Pepper bottler.
12-play, 66-yard drive, taking up 6 minutes and 53 seconds on the clock. And Buffalo with a 3-0 advantage here in the first quarter. Steve Christie will kick it off for the Bills. Desmond Howard and Calvin Branch are deep for Oakland. This will be Howard from the 9. Getting past the 30-yard line and brought down at the 31. Coming up Monday on CBS, when Raymond picks out what he thinks is the perfect holiday gift, he's about to prove that it's better to give than to receive. It's an all-new Christmas. Everybody loves Raymond. That's Monday on CBS. Raiders with a 1st and 10 at their own 31. First quarters have been a problem for Oakland as Harvey Williams drives ahead as he's taken down at around the 34-yard line by Bruce Smith. Secondary, that's Donovan Greer now replacing Henry Thomas Smith at right cornerback because of the injury. Dump off for John Ritchie. New set of downs for Oakland to work with as Donovan Greer brought down Ritchie following the pass play of 13 yards.
And the Buffalo Bills are condensing their defensive front to stop the run. They've got all these big guys in the middle, but the Oakland Raiders do a great job of pass protecting. If they've got him in the middle, just push him in the middle and give Wade Wilson time to throw the ball. Drifts out to the right, completes the pass to his fullback John Ritchie for the first down. Nice comeback for Wade Wilson.
On 1st and 10 from the 46. Harvey Williams went over 1,000 yards as a member of the Raiders back in 1995. He was basically a tight end a year ago. So Williams, who is a versatile player, getting the nod at running back because of the injury to Napoleon Kaufman. Former member of the Kansas City Chiefs. 1995, the big year for Williams.
And he's one of those guys, every team's got to have a Harvey Williams, a guy that can play 2-3 different positions, be a backup, but can always fill in as a starter.
On 2nd and 8, Randy Jordan now in the backfield. Wilson, good protection as he airs it out deep. Struggle for the football, and it's intercepted by Schultz. James Jett, the intended receiver, and Schultz has his 5th pick of the year.
Well, Wade Wilson was not patient on this drive. He saw something open, went with a play-action fake, saw James Jett on a post pattern down the field, decides to let it fly. But look at the way that Kurt Schultz breaks on the ball and just takes it away from James Jett. That's outstanding defensive play. He did not only go up for that ball, he took it away from the wide receiver, ripped it out of his hands. Buffalo Bill football.
Donald Hollis intercepted 6 times last week for Wade Wilson. His first INT of the season. Schultz, the veteran. Number 5 on the year, giving Buffalo the football. 1st and 10, just shy of the 20-yard line. On the bootleg, Flutie. Little flip to Sam Gash. And a modest gain on 1st down, but a chance for Flutie to exhibit some of his unpredictability in the backfield.
I'll tell you what, it's almost like watching a basketball game. Wade Phillips, the head coach of Buffalo, says he loves watching him play because he does something different every game. Here they run a misdirection and open bootleg, and on the outside, Lance Johnstone says, wait a minute, I got to go back and get him. But Doug Flutie jumps up, throws that little jump pass, and completes the pass. It's every game he comes up with something like that.
It's funny you would mention basketball. We spoke to Eric Moulds, who says this team plays a lot of basketball. He said Flutie is a John Stockton type, but he's willing to post up 6'5" players. Antoine Smith just using sheer power up the middle. A host of tacklers in on the play as Smith crossed the 25-yard line, setting up 3rd and about 4.
And it's got to be tough for anybody. Willie Shaw, the defensive coordinator of the Oakland Raiders, to defend this offense. You get the big bruising backs in there early. They pound it away at you. They misdirection with the quarterback, Doug Flutie. Then all of a sudden you got Thurman Thomas that comes in the backfield, and he'll line up in a 5 wide receiver set. So they like to spread everybody out. And speaking of that 5 wide receiver set, we're going to see it on the next play.
Willie Shaw has brought a team that was last in the NFL in team defense to the #2 ranking this year. 3rd and 4. Flutie. Quick throw to Eric Moulds as he's wrestled down by Charles Woodson. And Buffalo has itself a first down with time trickling away here in the first.
And if Charles Woodson gives Eric Moulds this kind of space on 3rd and short yardage, he will run this slant pattern every time and take that hit across the middle, but he'll pick up the first downs. That's another thing about Eric Moulds, the maturity this year. Andre Reed has helped him develop that. When it's 3rd and 5, you go to 6 yards and make sure you get the first down. Don't make it short. You go past the yard marker so you assured yourself of the first down.
Moulds told us he put too much pressure on himself his first 2 years in the league. Now it's loosey-goosey. Thomas nearly dropped the football on the exchange.
Thurman Thomas from the left side.
Thurman Thomas may have tripped on Jamie Nails.
Wow, that was a collision. I could hear it all the way up here. Jamie Nails and Richard Harvey head-to-head. Big 74 pulls out. This collision right here is a monster collision. Bam! Thurman Thomas just couldn't get over big Jamie Nails' feet, but that was a heck of a collision by 2 big players in the NFL, particularly left guard Jamie Nails.
Well, Nails is running about 6'6", 354, so he says.
350-ish. I like the 350-ish part of it.
That's it. 2nd and 8. Should be the final play of the first. Flutie in some trouble for a moment. Now trying to get himself out of it with zeros on the clock. Quick look. Andre Reed on the sideline. And the Bills end the first quarter on a strong note. A 13-yard pickup and a first down. End of 1. Bills 3, Raiders nothing. Back to Orchard Park after this message.
Happy birthday.
Oh, good. Another apple. Where's Danny?
Oh, you can tell by the way I use my walk. I'm a woman's man. No time to talk. Staying alive, staying alive. Staying alive.
Thank you.
Just a reminder that with options like traction control, anti-lock brakes, and all-wheel drive, Dodge Caravan is good on ice, and snow, and slush, and rain, and mud, and dirt, and now get $1,000 cash allowance or 1.9 financing on Caravan.
Well, I guess that's the last of the gifts.
Not quite. There's one gift left.
Take a look outside, Dad.
What'd you guys do? What'd you do?
Bet you this will make him smile this Christmas. A Prime Star satellite dish. Now only $49 installed at Radio Shack. It's that good. Hey, what guy wouldn't want a satellite dish?
I think he likes it.
Ken Olin stars with wife Patricia Wettig.
She has a brain tumor?
You can't save me.
In an unforgettable L.A. Doctors, CBS Monday.
Iron Eagle, Mark May, back with you in Buffalo. Bills lead it 3-0.
Thurman Thomas is going to lay a big block on Richard Harvey right there. Then he's going to finish it right there. Here comes the blitzer, one-on-one. This allows Doug Flutie to move around and scramble. Now he's going to scramble to his right, but the play's not over. Thurman's still working. Everybody on the offense, no one stops working. Completes the pass to Andre Reed for the first down. But the end of this play is magnificent with Thurman Thomas does not let the defender get off the ground. He drills him again into the turf.
On a 1st and 10 from the 48. Flutie in the pocket. Flutie throwing the deep ball. Off the fingertips of Andre Reed. Coverage from Bucky Brooks.
And Doug Flutie in this offense, they're not going to stand pat. They're going to keep going with that dagger. Andre Reed on the outside, just a little stutter step moving down the sidelines. The ball's thrown, just can't bring it in for the first down. Good pass by Doug Flutie of attacking this defense inside, outside, stretching the ball downfield and trying to confuse the Oakland defense.
Second and 10 from the 48. Flutie has been effective both in the pocket and out of the pocket. Raiders crowd the line as Jonathan Linton gets the call. And he picks up a yard. Greg Biekert making the stop. Third and long coming up for Buffalo.
It's one thing when they see Jonathan Linton in the backfield that he's going to run the football as a single back. Doesn't have a reception this year, and he's a pretty good young running back for the Buffalo Bills team. They think he could play a little fullback in the future because of his size, but he does have the feet of a tailback.
Fifth-round pick, rookie out of North Carolina. So far, it's Buffalo controlling the clock. And a 3-0 lead. Third and 9. 3 receivers set. Raiders in the dime package, and Flutie is forced to take a timeout. We step aside with 14:10 to play. First half. Buffalo off 3-0.
How far will you go so that people can fly? How deep into darkness to bring a city to life? What depths will you dare to keep the world running smoothly? How far will the people of Texaco go to provide the energy the world needs?
Going down.
How deep is the ocean? Texaco, a world of energy.
If you're tired of paying late fees for video rentals or paying for movies you didn't have time to watch, check out DivX at Circuit City. Only DVD players with DivX play DVD movies, DivX movies, and audio CDs. DivX movies are only $4.49 each, and you never have to return them or pay late fees. This RCA DVD player with DivX is only $399.99, and get any 5 DivX movies free after rebate. Plug into DivX at Circuit City.
Waterburn, Australia, a true story. A man was prospecting behind his trailer home when he discovered a 61-pound nugget of solid gold worth $1 million. When it comes to retirement, you can depend on luck, or you can depend on us, Sun America. We specialize in retirement investments. Ask about our personal retirement portfolios, and don't leave your future to chance. Sun America, the retirement specialist.
Tuesday, 2 JAG officers try to help a troubled girl.
Did your stepfather hurt you? Yes.
Make sure she's protected.
Where's Chloe?
She's gone. A special holiday JAG. Then a tour of duty becomes a mission of love.
I want to adopt Danny, sir.
You're willing to give up your career for this baby?
1,000 Men and a Baby, following JAG, CBS Tuesday.
Buffalo in front, 3-0. It's been a year of learning for John Gruden, getting adjusted to his new role as a head coach in the NFL. 35 years old. Wade Phillips used to see the Raiders twice a year. Back at his 2-year stint as head coach of the Denver Broncos, he is 0-5 as a head coach against the Raiders. 3rd and 9 for Buffalo. Flutie out of the shotgun, stepping up and gunning. Complete. Andre Reed. Coverage provided by Perry Carter. And as we came in talking about Eric Moulds, it reminds you, don't forget about Reed, a future Hall of Famer.
Well, he's got almost as many catches as Eric Moulds, just not the yardage. But here's a guy that can do everything. He's done it for a long time in the NFL, and they're going to put a backup defensive back on Perry Carter. Well, they're going to take their chances and go to Andre Reed as much as possible. That's just smart football by offensive coordinator Joe Pendry. Attack a weakness, and that's a backup to the defensive secondary for Oakland.
Moulds also mentioned to us during the offseason he watched a lot of Jerry Rice and Andre Reed tape, learning how to run precise routes. On the give for Antoine Smith as he hits the 30-yard line and brought down at the 29 by Russell Maryland. Antoine Smith is trying to become the first Buffalo Bill other than Thurman Thomas to top the 1,000-yard mark since 1984. Greg Bell did it that year, and then Thomas ripped off 8 consecutive 1,000-yard seasons from '89 to 1996.
Talking to Antoine Smith yesterday, he was telling us 1,000 yards is important, but my goal is 1,400, 1,500 yards, and that's the top echelon of NFL running back.
And that's the right frame of mind to have. Smith inching closer to that 1,000-yard mark. Came in 77 yards shy He now has 46 on the day. Greg Biekert with the tackle. It'll be 3rd and 3 for Buffalo.
And the other thing, talking to Antoine Smith yesterday, he was about the happiest guy to see Jamie Nails in there blocking for him. He goes, if they got big Darrell Russell over there, I want a big guy in Darrell Russell. So Jamie Nails is 350-ish, so I want him in there blocking for me.
Russell checking in at 320. 11th play of the drive, a 3rd and 3 from the Oakland 25. Kevin Williams in motion. Flutie. Andre Reed over the middle. Brought down inside the 10-yard line. A 13-yard hookup.
And I think the problem with this Oakland defense is they're concerned so much about Eric Moulds, they're forgetting about Andre Reed, and that's a major mistake. You've got to go on both of these wide receivers and not let them open. And Thurman Thomas gets another great block out of the backfield right there on Lance Johnson. Look at the lane that Doug Flutie has to throw in, and you can't put a linebacker. That was Richard Harvey covering Andre Reed. It's not going to happen. The offense will win that battle every time.
5 catches, 70 yards for Reed. Bills in the red zone. 1st and goal from the 8. Antoine Smith trying to bounce off a tackler, and he can't do it. Terry Wooden sniffed it out, and a loss on the play.
Nice play by Wooden, but the interior line of the Oakland Raiders got a good stuff and moved the line of scrimmage against the Buffalo Bills, and they rushed the line of scrimmage to push on the inside, not allowing the Bills to get off. They're just tackling big Jamie Nails, 2 or 3 defenders, and then Wooden comes from the outside and makes the tackle of Antoine Smith in the backfield. As a player, and I used to hate that. If you pulled and got in traffic, a defender would grab you and tackle you, and you get so frustrated because you didn't have the ball. Those guys aren't supposed to do that, but it's smart defensive play.
Thurman Thomas setting up as a receiver. Buffalo going with the 5-receiver look. On 2nd and goal from the 13. Flutie on the pump. Flutie backing up in the pocket. Doug Flutie. Oh my goodness, how much time can he have? Incomplete.
A defensive lineman's nightmare. You've got to run for 15 seconds to get to the quarterback, and that's a plus for the offense. And Doug Flutie, the way that he can maneuver around.
Could it also be an offensive lineman's nightmare? You just want the play to end.
Well, on a play like this, I'm hoping that defender slips on the ground so I can just fall on him, because it's 10, 12 seconds. You got to block out there and move your feet. But Doug Flutie, magnificent, moving around, shuffling around, looking for the open wide receiver. I mean, this guy looks like he's in a boxing square, that he's moving his feet and jerking around, but then he just has to throw a ball away. But the offensive line did a tremendous job. But the Raider defensive secondary, they stayed with their wide receivers. That's a long time to stay with a wide receiver.
3-receiver look on the 14th play of the drive. 3rd and goal. Flutie guns. Touchdown! Jay Remersma. They love to get him involved in the red zone. And Remersma with his 6th touchdown of the season.
And they like to spread this ball out offensively. I've said it earlier. Joe Pendry, the offensive coordinator, does a magnificent job of doing that. But getting it to your tight end, that's where you want to get him in the red area, because it's a big body as a receiver. All he does is run a post pattern. Flutie steps up in the pocket and fires. He beats the defender to the backside. Touchdown, Buffalo Bills.
Christie adds the extra point. And the Bills extend their lead in the second. 10-0 Buffalo.
In the financial world, banking as we have known it has become a thing of the past. Brokerages, insurance companies, all of our financial institutions are in transition. Teller windows have become electronic gateways. The savings book is now the investment portfolio. And financial products which once could only be obtained from a vast number of different sources can now be obtained from one. Stocks, bonds, mutual funds, planning, insurance, all have moved to a single place. To the financial mountain called First Union, who for half a century has helped investors seeking diversity, growth, and security. Come to the mountain called First Union. Or if you prefer, the mountain will come to you.
Let me tell you about the best traffic report in town, brought to you by QXRT's Barb and Bill.
Woo!
scorcher out there, and I hope none of you are trying to get anywhere soon. From up here, it looks like a little backup heading downtown.
These guys have the ultimate view.
This is Barb and Bill, the QXRT traffic team, signing out. Once again, our Explorer saves the day.
Yeah, glad we're not down in that mess.
And just think of the money they saved on a helicopter. The new Ford Explorer, built Ford tough.
A big-time battle. Big 10 meets Big 12. Illinois collides with 8th-ranked Kansas. It's all on the road to the Final Four on CBS.
On the post pattern, Doug Flutie finds tight end Jay Remersma.
And right here, Richard Harvey has him, but watch Remersma go to the back of the end zone. They're playing too deep, but man, Harvey's got him. He just runs right by him, goes to the post, and Flutie puts the ball right on the money. And that's great cooperation between the quarterback, Flutie, going to his tight end, Jay Remersma.
On the kickoff, Calvin Branch will take it out. And Branch down at the 25-yard line. Joe Cummings, the tackle on special teams. 10-0 Buffalo in front.
Now we'll never get presents to all the boys and girls around the world. No toys?
Sorry.
Folks need a hand.
Nice hat. Let's get it on the front. You're gonna love it.
Who saved Christmas?
Glad I could help.
Hey, can I drive?
Season's greetings from UPS.
You know, Joe's the kind of guy whose hands are always dirty, no matter how deep the scrub. You see, his hands are his livelihood. Rarely ever see any time off. His hands are strong, steady and sure. The kind of hands that can only grip the wheel of a truck. Of course, that truck is a Ford F-Series with a more powerful Triton engine and 50 years of toughness. You might say it fits Joe's hands like a glove. Not that he'd ever wear any. Ford F-Series, built Ford tough.
Now that the Bunny has the new advanced battery, it's a whole new ballgame. You have to be prepared for just about anything. Ain't that right, boys?
New Energizer Advanced Formula. No battery lasts longer.
Outstanding timepieces are built to run forever without replacing batteries, but only one of these is smart enough to run forever. On any kind of light, Echo Drive from Citizen. Live at the speed of light.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Ford F-Series. The best-selling trucks are built Ford tough. First Union, your guide to the financial world. And by RCA, changing entertainment again.
Well, maybe the king really does live. Wow.
I thought it was our producer and director, Suzanne Smith and Victor Frank out there.
You know, there is a similarity. 10-0. Buffalo has the lead. Oakland has the football. On the handoff going up the middle, Harvey Williams, who took himself out of the game on the Raiders' last possession, has a wrap now on his wrist. This week's player spotlight on NFL.com profiles Raiders defensive tackle Darrell Russell. Plus, get updated stats through Week 15 at www.nfl.com. Williams remains on the game after the 1-yard pickup. Tim Brown in motion. Wilson straight back. The toss over the head of Harvey Williams. And again, this Oakland offense not showing much in the early going.
Well, he was feeling the heat from the outside from Bruce Smith. He got a pretty good rush over Mo Collins. But the first play, they attacked the middle of the defense, and they attacked Ted Washington. That's a first mistake. You're not going to move him out of the middle. And then on the outside, you want to go a little quick pass. And Bruce Smith, 14th year in the NFL, he can still get off the ball. Still one of the best pass rushers, second of ever all-time NFL sacking the quarterback. He will get over a rookie, and he's licking his chops today because he's got a rookie across from him.
Second only to Reggie White. On 3rd and 9, 3 receivers set. Wilson has time. Wilson looking to run. The 39-year-old gets across the 30-yard line, but short of a first down. Marcellus Wiley, second year out of Columbia, able to get him by the jersey and drag him down. And Oakland forced to punt.
Bruce Smith comes on an inside move right here, tries to get to the quarterback, fights to be between 2, 3, and 4 people, and Wade Wilson feels the pressure, steps up. He can't complete the ball downfield because of the great coverage of the Buffalo secondary and takes off and runs with it.
Leo Araguz will punt. Kevin Williams averaging 8 yards a return. His longest of the season, 24 yards. He can return this one from the 25. Kevin Williams, he might break it. Williams in a foot race. Kevin Williams remaining on his feet. What an effort! Leo Araguz able to bring him down, at least slow him down. So the Bills did not get the touchdown, but they came mighty close. A 73-yard return.
And that Kevin Williams, he says you have to have an attitude to return the ball. Kicks or punts, it doesn't matter. Every time I touch the ball, I don't think about getting positive yardage. I think about getting to the end zone. Here, he avoids tacklers right here and just outruns the rest of the coverage team for the Oakland Raiders. Gets some blocks down the way, but now he's just off to the races, and it's him against the punter, Leo Araguz.
And he nearly got in. Brought down finally at the 2-yard line. Setting up a 1st and goal from the 2 for Buffalo. Smith and Gash in the backfield. Remersma in motion. Flutie on the handoff for Smith. Bounced off one tackler, but was twirled around at the line of scrimmage. Grady Jackson spun him around like a top. Call it no gain on 1st down.
And this is one area, even with a fullback in front of you, when you get in towards the red area, right here at goal line and short yardage, you can't tippy-toe. Sam Gash gets a good block, but you have to force that ball in there. If you have to change direction on the goal line or short yardage, you're not going to get positive yardage because it gets a defense a chance to attack the line of scrimmage.
2nd and goal from the 2. Motion man Remersma. Play action. Flutie floats one. Touchdown! Lonnie Johnson. First touchdown of the season for the big tight end.
Spreading the wealth around offensively, that's what Doug Flutie does best, keeping everyone happy, getting everyone a touch, all those wide receivers. First he goes to his first tight end, Jay Remersma for the touchdown. Then he comes back, Lonnie Johnson, and here, great play action protection, gets a good block out of the backfield by his running back Thurman Thomas, but at the back of the end zone, it's Lonnie Johnson wide open and just goes up for the touchdown.
Extra point from Christie. And now the Bills opening it up. 8:15 to play, 1st half. Buffalo 17-0 lead.
In our quest to learn even more about how people watch TV, we sent out our experts. Both of them. Applicants wanted. High-tech jobs. Window offices. No experience necessary.
Tim and Ed are neighbors, sort of. You see, Ed thought Tim's hair was too long, and Tim thought Ed's pants were too short. Then Tim brought home the new redesigned 260-horse Ford Mustang GT, just when Ed was pulling out his Boss 302.
Nice Mustang.
You too. Wow. Just think if everyone owned a Mustang.
And the world will be a better place for you.
Ford Mustang GT, built for California, built to last.
To find out more about how people watch TV, we sent our experts.
Tune into the channel.
Both of them.
Come on,
40. 40.
The result? RCA TVs with Guide Plus Gold, the revolutionary on-screen guide that lets you find what's on faster and easier when you just can't wait.
I'm Ted Washington of the Buffalo Bills. In Buffalo, through the United Way, we're building better communities. The NFL, the United Way, and you, the power of teamwork.
The Great American Race, the Daytona 500, only on CBS Sports.
A 2-yard touchdown strike, Doug Flutie to Lonnie Johnson. And the Buffalo Bills with a 17-0 lead. That followed the 73-yard punt return from Kevin Williams. Longest punt return not for a touchdown in team history. Steve Christie for Desmond Howard from the 2. Raiders need to make something happen. Howard with a good return off of the kickoff as Donovan Greer chased him to the sideline. Monday on CBS, spend the holidays with a show that Entertainment Magazine calls the near-perfect synthesis of Seinfeld and Raymond. Kevin James stars in an all-new King of Queens. That's Monday on CBS. Tell you what, Kevin might be able to play in this game. Some of the big bodies around.
Well, he's got the girth. There's no doubt about that. I'm just concerned about the height.
2 touchdowns for the Bills. 1 to each of their tight ends. Catch made by James Jett on first down. The Oakland Raiders with 7:52 left in the second quarter, trailing 17-0. This is a team that has lost 3 in a row. Off to a 7-3 start this season. They were thinking playoffs. They were talking playoffs in the Bay Area. Now they are talking about this season being reminiscent to 1995 when they started 8-2 and lost their last 6 in a row. On 2nd and 4. Harvey Williams stumbling ahead as Henry Jones made the stop. Decembers have been a problem for the Oakland Raiders. Since 1995, when they moved back to the Bay Area, you see what they have done late in the season. 1-4 last year to wrap up the year. 1-8 after the 3-4 start. Bruce Smith not 100% here today. Smith just trying to give it a go. He's been walking with a limp. And a first down for Oakland as Harvey Williams squeezed his way through a hole. Only the second Oakland first down of the day as Smith got him low to slow him down, but it will continue the drive for the Raiders.
Well, the Oakland Raiders in their offense, they want to just sustain a drive and hopefully get first downs and get some points on the board and build confidence of their offense at this point. Down 17 points early in the half. This is a team that needs to sustain a drive and build their confidence up. Wade Wilson, short passes, hand the ball off. They don't want to get it back all at once, but they at least want to get field position as a victory with their drives.
Just shy of midfield on a 1st and 10. Wilson throwing. And the catch brought in Tim Brown. Brown now has gone 90 straight games with at least 1 reception. And a new set of downs for the Oakland Raiders to work with after the 12-yard pickup.
And what's so different about this Raider offense with John Gruden is he's installed the West Coast offense. In the past, the Raiders were pounding the ball in there, then throw it deep with the speedy wide receivers, throw the ball vertically, the vertical passing game. But now with John Gruden, he likes to dink and dunk it off, throw the short outs, throw the crossing patterns underneath, and get first downs.
Randy Jordan came in motion. Harvey Williams gets the call as he puts the helmet down and moves ahead to the 35-yard line. Sam Rogers making the tackle for Buffalo.
And Bruce Smith, he's moving around quite a bit from outside over the rookie Mo Collins to inside over Steve Wisniewski. A couple of Pro Bowlers right there, perennial Pro Bowlers going at it. And right here, Wisniewski, boom, he gets a flapjack back right there. That's a pancake. That's not only a plus, that's a double plus in the offensive line meetings on Monday.
The second down play to Harvey Williams. John Holisek, one of the inside linebackers, returning from a knee injury, coming in to make the play. It'll be 3rd down for the Oakland Raiders and 6. Clock is moving, 4:33 and counting. Buffalo with a 17-0 lead. Doug Flutie undefeated at home as a starter in the NFL. He's trying to keep that streak alive for the Buffalo Bills. Raiders have a 4-receiver set on 3rd and 6. Jet in motion and movement. Flags come down.
And that's what Bruce Smith does best, particularly at home. He plays to the crowd. If he can get that offensive lineman to start to think about it, he wants to get him moving.
Prior to the snap, false start, number 79, offense, 5-yard penalty. Replay 3rd down.
And that's the rookie Mo Collins. If you get him thinking about this guy right here, here's Mo Collins. He's got to move early because Bruce Smith's got him. He's in his mind already right there to move because he's so explosive off the ball. If Mo Collins just sits there, it's going to be on Bruce Smith. But as soon as he sees him move instead of watching the ball and listening to the snap count, he gets called for the penalty.
third penalty today called on the Oakland Raiders. And they back it up. Now pushing Oakland into a 3rd and 11. Not a sellout here today at Bills Stadium, but mighty close. And a timeout has been called by the Bills. We'll return to Orchard Park after this.
Great timepieces are built to run forever without replacing batteries. But only one of these is smart enough to run forever on any kind of light. Echo Drive from Citizen. Live at the speed of light.
Chicken sandwich or burger? Take a dance with Lady Cluck. Okay, which one? That one. This one right here? Yeah. Wrong. Burger. You lose.
Eat chicken that looks like chicken. Introducing Subway's Chicken Fajita Sub, topped with Old El Paso thick and chunky salsa. Subway, the way a sandwich should be.
I'm a music major. It's tough. I mean, you go away from home, and I really wanted to do well. So what I really needed was a big screen notebook with DVD, but I couldn't find the right one. My roommate told me that I could get Dell on the internet. Dell built a notebook just for me. I got right online and found answers to 1,000,000 questions at some pretty weird hours. They're making me look way too smart.
Be direct. Dell. Dell computers use Intel Pentium 2 processors.
Monday, catch all new holiday episodes of Cosby and the King of Queens. Then, Ray gives the gift that keeps on toasting.
It is so retro chic.
You're making fun of me, right?
But how will that reflect on him?
Look at the size of my nose.
It's an all-new Christmas Raymond. And Becker gets a visit from 2 wise men.
Have you given any thought to the afterlife?
Are you two going to be there?
Yes, sir. That's why we're here.
Ted Danson is Becker. Welcome home for the holidays on CBS Monday.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Dell. Be direct, Dell. And by Citizen. Citizen is how the world tells time.
Back in Buffalo, it's been Flutie mania here in upstate New York ever since Doug Flutie took over the job. He was backing up Rob Johnson, and the Bills still consider Rob Johnson the quarterback of the future, but for now, you go with the hot hand, and Flutie certainly has had that. He has helped lead the Bills to a 17-0 lead. Oakland trying to maintain this drive. 3rd and 11 with just under 4 minutes to play in the first half. Wilson, deep drop. He's got time on the dump off for Terry Mickens. And he came up just shy of the marker. Mickens angling off to the sideline.
Wade Wilson got great protection on that play by not only his offensive line, but to the outside. They kept running back Harvey Williams in the pass protect. And on the outside, you're going to see it over here to the right of the screen. Mo Collins has his hands on Bruce Smith. Harvey Williams right there to cut him. Mo Collins to clean up on him at the end. But that allows quarterback Wade Wilson time to find a receiver downfield to complete it for the first down.
Clock stops, 3:52. It's going to be very, very close.
First down for the Raiders.
And they are giving Oakland the first down.
You doubt my precision perfect eyes?
Oh.
After all this time?
After all this time, yes. I doubt your precision eyes.
You know, I can't see. But here's Bruce Smith against the rookie. He goes on an outside rush. He's got Mo Collins beat, but cleaning up right there is Harvey Williams. Then Mo Collins finishes him off right at the end of the play.
The drive remains alive. On the give, Harvey Williams spilled out. Ken Irvin cutting him down low, and Williams again going to the sideline and taking himself out of the game. Randy Jordan will come in and take his spot on the field. It'll be 2nd and 9 coming up for Oakland. Desmond Howard now out there as a wide receiver. Howard with only 2 catches this season. Buffalo in the dime package, 6 defensive backs on 2nd and 9. Wilson, decent protection. Low throw, Brown able to haul it in. Across the 25-yard line, Phil Hansen was applying pressure in the backfield.
Wade Wilson got time, but at the end of the play, he got nailed by Phil Hansen. This ball's underthrown, and he was under duress to try to throw that ball downfield. But you're going to see the push inside by Hansen and Bruce Smith. They run a nice little stunt here. Hansen gets on the soft shoulder of Mo Collins and falls right on the legs of quarterback Wade Wilson.
A 4-yard gain, 3rd and 5 coming up for Oakland. And the Raiders use one of their 2 remaining timeouts. Each club with 1 timeout left. Here late in the second quarter. 2:31 to play. First half, it's 17-0. Bills.
Here at VMI, we were asked to try the new Norelco Advantage for 21 days. There was quiet dissension.
I'm not giving up my blade.
And anxious inquiry.
The heck is this? Goo?
But then we started to realize the lotion actually gave us a closer, smoother shave than we expected, without the nicks and cuts like blades. Our fear diminished. Our hopes arose, and life got a little less hairy.
Come on, babyface, move it!
The new Norelco Advantage. Put it to the test. If you don't like it, they'll give you your money back, guaranteed.
Coming up on the NASDAQ Amex halftime report, join Jim Nantz, Marcus Allen, Brent Jones, and Michael Lombardi. Scores and highlights, plus a preview of the President's Cup. That's all coming up on the NASDAQ Amex halftime report. On 3rd down, Wilson throwing. Caught once again. Terry Mickens, good hands, and it looked like the initial spot will be enough for Oakland. They had to get to the 18-yard line for the first down.
And Wade Wilson 5 for 5 on this drive. It's an easy slant play, and you've got the wide receiver Mickens on the outside. He's one-on-one against Schultz, and it's a nice move to get the first down. Quick bang-bang plays, very difficult to defend to pick up yardage like that.
This time, though, we will see the markers as they extend. Not enough. Coming up a little more than the length of the football shy of the first down, and now decision time for Oakland.
They've got to go for the first down, and you're in a situation you're fighting for the playoffs. You're down by 17 in a hostile environment. 3 points, yeah, it's good to get on the scoreboard, but hey, they want touchdowns here. They're going to go for it.
Raiders are 5 of 11 on 4th down conversions this season. A critical play late in the second quarter. 4th and about a foot. On the handoff, is it enough for Randy Jordan? Sam Cowart, the rookie, coming over.
And it's going to be very close depending on where the official spotted, but Cowart, the rookie, what a magnificent year he's having. He comes up with big plays time and time again.
Harvey Williams got the call on that play. Bill Carollo extending the arm. It all depends on the spot. It was Cowart on the stop. Williams tried to extend his arms to give Oakland the first down as we have hit the 2-minute warning. Extending the chains. Oh. Enough. Barely.
By that much. It's a good job of the offensive line getting leverage on the Buffalo defensive line, and Harvey Williams getting the first down.
2-minute warning. Oakland now just trying to get on the board.
Welcome to the big game, rookie. Let's get it on. Come on, baby. Let's go. This is my house. Now let's see what you got.
There's a tough new face in the NFL.
Is that all you got, rookie?
Never felt like this until I kissed you, I kissed you, I kissed you, I kissed you. How did I exist until I kissed you, kissed you, kissed you? Never had you on my
When you find the one that's unlike any other, that's when it's love. That's when it's Dr. Pepper.
Dr. Pepper, this is the taste. Dr. Pepper, this is the taste. I kissed you.
Okay, you probably think they look alike. But with Gateway, you get basic help over the phone for as long as you own it. After a month, you pay for it. Here, you get a color printer. Nope, not here. This one you can trade in toward the purchase of a new one after 2 years. Yours forever. Still think they look alike? We'll build you a PC like this one for $1,598 or $45 a month. Call 1-800-GATEWAY and get more out of the box.
He's open! He's open! He's open! He's wide open! Come on!
There's a tough new face in the NFL.
You're wide open out there. Great wheels, kid.
And now the Late Show question of the week.
What's the longest shower you've ever taken after a game?
I never take showers.
Dave's got Robin Williams Monday.
Buffalo has the 17-0 lead. Oakland, though, threatening at the 2-minute warning of the second quarter. Raiders a long drive, and they needed it. And again, giving up the big play. Last week, points off of turnovers in the loss to Miami. Here again, points off of turnovers and a long punt return from Kevin Williams. Jordan in the backfield. On 1st and 10, Wilson going deep. Caught by Dudley. Touchdown. Wade Wilson getting the pass off just in the nick of time. And Ricky Dudley with an athletic play. The tight end has his 5th touchdown of the '98 season.
And a terrific job by Wade Wilson. Right there, gets nailed in the back by Bruce Smith. An outstanding rush by Smith, but not enough. He gets the ball off to his tight end, Ricky Dudley, for the touchdown.
It's funny how inches can determine what you see on the scoreboard. If just an inch the other way, Buffalo would have gotten the football back after the Harvey Williams carry, and they would still have the 17-0 lead. Instead, Oakland back in this football game. Raiders get on the board as Greg Davis tacks on the extra point. Ricky Dudley with a touchdown reception. Good throw from Wade Wilson. And it's 17-7. Buffalo with 1:54 to play in the second. Coming up, the NASDAQ Amex halftime report. Jim Nantz, Marcus Allen, Brent Jones, and Michael Lombardi back in our studios in New York. Scores and highlights and a preview of the President's Cup. That's all coming up on the NASDAQ Amex halftime report.
Now, you said it's a game of inches. Within a hiccup, if Bruce Smith gets there, it's a sack. And the 39-year-old Wade Wilson takes a lick right there. Bam. He got his nose hairs knocked out. But Ricky Dudley fighting for the football and getting the touchdown. And that's what you need in situations like this. You're fighting for the playoffs. You need your guys to rally and fight and hang in there. And that's one thing John Gruden said about this team last week. Even though they were down 24-3 at one point, they never gave up. They fought and came back.
Dudley got shut out last week in the loss to Miami. Gets the 18-yard touchdown reception here. Wade Wilson on that drive. 6 of 6 throwing the football, 54 yards. And Wilson with his 3rd touchdown of the season. Kevin Williams, the lone man deep. Williams from the 8. Has that long punt return already. And Williams got tripped up, or that may have been another long return for Kevin Williams. Mike Morton getting him down low. 29 yards for Williams. Next Saturday, CBS Sports kicks off the weekend with an NFL national game. Vinny Testaverde and the New York Jets meet Doug Flutie and the Buffalo Bills right here in Orchard Park. It all begins at 12 Eastern with the NFL Today on CBS. Buffalo Bills still thinking about a division title, entering action today at 8-5, and still thinking about putting some points on the board before halftime. Eric Moulds the catch. Moulds into Oakland territory. Another 5-receiver look for the Buffalo Bills, something Flutie was certainly accustomed to when he played in the CFL.
Well, he's used to that set, and he's the one that really implemented it here. Talked to head offensive coordinator Joe Pendry about installing it, but they couldn't do it from day one. They had to eke it into their offensive game plan, and now they feel comfortable with it. But that last play, Eric Moulds, 3 white jerseys around him, 3 Oakland Raider defenders around him, and still comes up with a reception for the first down.
His first year as a starter, he is certainly making the most of it. 3 catches, 44 yards for Moulds. Over 1,100 yards in receiving this season, leading the AFC. On 1st and 10. Quick little out, and it's Moulds again. Clock moves with 1:35 left. Bucky Brooks bringing Moulds down. A 4-yard pickup, 2nd and 6 coming up from the 42. Bills quickly come to the line of scrimmage. Three receivers set. Thomas in the backfield. Flutie fires quickly to Moles. Charles Woodson brings him down. Clock is rolling.
And I think Oakland's making a mistake, and I said it earlier, playing off the line of scrimmage against Eric Moulds. They've got to get someone pressed on the line of scrimmage and not let him release cleanly off the line of scrimmage, else he will burn you the rest of the afternoon.
Another first down for Buffalo. One timeout left for each team. Line of scrimmage is the 34. Out of the gun, Flutie, plenty of time. Floats it towards the end zone. Incomplete. Jay Remersma on the post pattern. Albert Lewis combining with Louis Riddick on the coverage.
Before throwing it to Remersma, he looked towards Eric Mould, not once, not twice, but 3 times before throwing that ball to the post pattern to Remersma down the middle of the field.
And it does stop the clock with 41 seconds to play. Buffalo with a 17-7 advantage. 2nd and 10 from the 34. Flutie so far 144 yards. He's gone over 300 yards in back-to-back games, trying to make it 3 in a row. Play clock winding down. Flutie, little flick. Thurman Thomas. And Lance Johnstone was in his face. Loss on the play. Timeout has been taken by Buffalo, their final timeout, with 31 seconds left in the first half.
And Lance Johnstone was not fooled on that play. It was set up very well by Doug Flutie. Thurman Thomas in the backfield gets a little chip on the outside rusher, but Lance Johnstone was over Jerry Ostrowski, the right tackle, and just baited and waited on the line of scrimmage and ran the play down. Smart play on defense, gets good protection up front, looks it off. Thurman Thomas a little touch on the outside. Doug Flutie gets a face mask at the end of the play, which they didn't call, but Lance Johnstone was Johnny on the spot, smart enough to read the play and make the tackle.
That was Bucky Brooks on the corner blitz, who got the face mask of Flutie. No flag. And 3rd and 15 coming up. Flutie truly is an amazing story. It's obviously been covered all throughout the season. It's been a dream year.
But the thing that I was most happy about is when I got to the hotel, they gave me a box of Flutie flags.
Yeah, me too.
That's great, yeah.
You didn't open your box, did you?
No, take it home.
Yeah. A big 3rd down play. 5 receiver look on 3rd and 15. Flutie in the pocket. Flutie looking to run. Flutie angling towards the sideline, and he's forced out of bounds at the 31 by Calvin Branch. Doug Flutie did not get the first down for Buffalo. And with 21 seconds left, the Bills facing a 4th down.
Empty backfield, not a soul in this backfield back there. And the Oakland Raiders know that. That's why they're dropping deep. It's a deep zone, and Doug Flutie has no one to throw the ball to. Great job of pass protection by the offensive line. Only 3 rushers, 8 defenders dropping deep, but Doug Flutie with his speed takes the ball down the field.
This will be a 49-yard attempt for the very steady Steve Christie. Christie's kick is good. Christie drills it from 49 yards away. And the Bills have something to show for this late 2nd quarter drive. The Oakland Raiders defense, one of the best in the NFL, but Wade Phillips' offense able to get the job done. 20-7, Buffalo now in front with 16 seconds left. Right now, let's take a look at the CBS Sportsline question of the week. Very interesting question. Who would you pick as the surprise quarterback of the season? Some great choices. Randall Cunningham, Doug Flutie, or Vinny Testaverde. All 3 have just been nothing short of brilliant for their respective teams. Log on to vote at cbs.sportsline.com and on America Online at keyword CBS Sportsline.
And the thing that's interesting about those 3 choices, none of those guys are spring chickens. A lot of those guys have been around the block 4 or 5 times, played with a couple NFL teams, and now they're really thriving in the NFL at the end of their careers.
I'd like to talk to you about that maybe in the second half, about the 35-year-old and over, the quarterbacks in particular who are having success this season. Not the analysts.
I thought you were going to say offensive lineman. I was going to make a comeback.
No. Onside kick from Christie. Little squibber. And the Raiders able to fall on it At the 30-yard line, Vince Amy trampling on the football with just 14 seconds left in the second quarter. What about Wade Wilson's performance so far?
I think he's been terrific. I think 8 out of 11. He's got the one interception, but that was one of those balls. It was a jump ball, and Kirk Schultz made a great play on it, taking it away from a wide receiver. But thus far, I mean, you know, he does have fresh legs. He said he had fresh legs coming in, and, you know, he's gotten the rust off, and he looks pretty good.
Just 14 ticks on the clock remaining. Oakland, though, trailing 20-7 in about as close to a must-win situation as you can get. Wilson in some trouble, and he's down. Sean Price falling on Wade Wilson for the sack.
See, that's not fair to Wade Wilson. You go with a short drop, and they know you're going to throw the ball, and he just doesn't get a chance to get set. It's a short 3-step drop. His first receiver's not open, goes to a second one, and the defensive linemen only have to go 3 steps for the sack.
And that will be the final play of the first half. Buffalo 20, Raiders 7. The Amex halftime report's coming up after a word from your local station.
In a 4-minute speech, he used the word private 6 times.
Private life. Private.
Who put those words in his mouth? You did. 60 Minutes, tonight.
Private lives.
CBS Wednesday, a promising athlete. Yeah! A doctor's drive to win.
How could you put my daughter's life at risk?
Did he push her too far?
She wanted to win. She wanted to play the game.
She ended up in a coma.
All new Chicago Hope, CBS Wednesday.
The address is CBS. Welcome home.
Some people choose Damon's Clubhouse for our award-winning barbecued ribs. Others like our steaks, chicken, seafood, prime rib, and of course, Damon's famous onion loaf. But everyone agrees, when it comes to hard-hitting, action-packed sports entertainment, Damon's Clubhouse is the next best thing to being there.
Damon's, the official restaurant of NFL Sunday Ticket. Stop by for the best barbecued ribs and a whole lot more. Check out our locations at www.damons.com.
Hi. Isn't that your boyfriend?
Yeah.
But he's sitting right there.
Yeah.
I knew it was going to be a short pass.
It's hard to compete with QB1. You predict the plays, you play against the country at your bar or on the internet. QB1.
Yeah.
We have a situation.
This year,
it's a global conspiracy. Key players, highest levels of power.
take your greatest fear,
I can't tell you what killed this man. I'm not sure anybody else could either.
your most paranoid suspicion,
The planned Armageddon.
and multiply it
Mulder!
by X. The X-Files.
Playing this month on Direct Ticket, only on Direct TV.
CBS Sports presentation of the NASDAQ Amex halftime report is sponsored by the NASDAQ Amex Market Group, the market of markets.
Hi, everybody. Along with Brent Marcus and Michael, Jim Nance from the CBS Broadcast Center in New York. Welcome to the NASDAQ Amex halftime report. And at halftime, Oakland and Buffalo. And the Bills are up 20-7, a pair of touchdown passes by Mr. Flutie.
Mr. Flutie amazes me each week. This guy is going to the Pro Bowl. If he doesn't get elected this week, I'll tell you, we're going to have another one of Brent's meetings and have a revolt because he's been sensational. They dominated this game, really. Other than touchdown of Ricky Dudley, they own this game right now.
All right, elsewhere in the NFL today, check it out. For only the second time this year, the Broncos are down at halftime. Giants got a touchdown pass late in the half to Tiki Barber. Kent Graham has played well here, Brent.
Great job by Kent Graham here. You're going to see a little pick by the receiver that knocks off the linebacker covering Tiki Barber. Remember, Jim, it's only a pick if they see it and call it.
Well, they're going for their NFL record 19 straight win, the Broncos, but it's not going to be easy today. Patriots at the Rams. Hey, the Rams quarterback Banks is out with a leg injury. Edwards is running up and down the field, but the Rams are beating up Bledsoe and company. Bledsoe was picked off early. It led to this touchdown right here.
Yeah, great delay route. The delay lets the linebackers get deep. Hakeem catches the ball underneath, makes some Patriots tackle air.
All right, and they're still in the first half with the Rams in front. Collins has been benched for New Orleans today. 4 turnovers. He threw 3 interceptions, fumbled another time, but the Saints have just picked off a Chandler pass and run it back for a touchdown. Tennessee and Jacksonville all square at halftime. Eddie George, ineffective, 8 carries, 14 yards. Jamie Martin starts today for the injured Mark Brunell. He had him up 10-0 before McNair brought him back.
Does a great job rolling out here. We thought his toe was questionable, and he gets a touchdown pass right here. But after further review, it's a bad call. This is why they should have instant replay. His knee is down. This is exactly why. We've talked about it time and time again. Instant replay, instant replay.
I hate to say it, that's Phil Luckett's crew. The man who's been in controversies his last 2 games. And Jamie Martin, by the way, in that game, sprained knee. We're uncertain of his status for the second half. Pittsburgh and the Bucks, all field goals here as they move to the third quarter. Horrible weather there at Tampa. Thus, it's been just really a running game. Again, field goals the only story here as far as scoring. This set up one field goal, in fact, for Tampa Bay.
Horrible weather advantage runner. See guys slow down after he drops the ball. He breaks it, has an opportunity, takes it all away. Caught from behind right here. Sets it up for a 3-yard.
6-3 Bucks third quarter. Bears and Green Bay, the oldest rivalry in the NFL, meeting for the 156th time, and Green Bay leads at halftime. They've defeated Chicago 8 straight. Colts and the Bengals, Falk, 2 touchdowns, rushed for 81 yards. Eagles and the Cardinals, and Deuce Staley over 100 for the Eagles. That game knotted at 10. Redskins and Carolina, and a controversy here, Michael Lombardi.
Yeah, Kevin Green took after Kevin Steele, the linebacker coach. Not a very pretty scene. They apologized later, but that was not something that you look on the sidelines. Very disappointing.
Yeah, there was a physical scuffle on the sideline as Kevin Green went after his position coach. Thanks for watching the NASDAQ Amex halftime report. Doug Flutie has the Bills in front at halftime.
Unlikely companions discover life saves the best for last.
You're the best friend I ever had.
Jenna Rollins and Diane Lane in Hallmark Hall of Fame's Grace and Glory, CBS Tonight.
CBS Monday.
Look at the size of my nose.
Ray gives the gift that keeps on toasting.
It is so retro chic.
You're making fun of me, right?
A show this funny comes only once a year.
My parents, they haven't called or stopped by.
You know what that's called? A Merry Christmas.
An all-new Yuletide Raymond, CBS Monday.
Sleigh bells ring, are you listening? In the lane, snow is glistening.
Through the wasteland of winter, the cold wind moans, but the will to win can warm old bones.
Talking hand in hand in a crazy winter wonderland.
This is where teamwork pays off. I'm Tim Brown, wide receiver for the Oakland Raiders, but I'm also part of another team. This is my wife, Cherise, and we're on the NFL United Way team here in our Oakland community. United Way with NFL teams and players bring all of our volunteer resources together. And with teamwork, we are building better communities for all of us.
The NFL, the United Way, and you, the power of teamwork.
CBS Sports presentation of the NASDAQ Amex halftime report is sponsored by the NASDAQ Amex Market Group, the market of markets.
Welcome back to our New York studios and the NASDAQ Amex halftime report. Now be sure to join us this Saturday, noon Eastern, for the NFL Today, followed at 12:30 by another pivotal AFC East showdown, the Jets against the Bills. Now coming up next on CBS, the final day of the President's Cup, featuring head-to-head singles matches between America's best and their counterparts on the international side. For more from Down Under in Australia, here's Bill McAtee.
Halftime in Orchard Park, and the Buffalo Bills lead the Oakland Raiders 20-7. Ian Eagle and Mark May, important game for both teams. Buffalo trying to wrap up a playoff spot in the AFC. Oakland just trying to stay in the playoff hunt. And in the first half, I guess a trend that we've seen with these Oakland Raiders, the opponents taking advantage of Raider mistakes.
Absolutely, and it's been that way the entire season. And the Buffalo Bills have done a great job of capitalizing on mistakes and coming up with big plays when they've had to.
One of those big plays, a run back. Kevin Williams on a punt return. Prior to this, his longest return, 24 yards this season. And he came about as close as you can come to scoring a touchdown.
And I thought he might have scored. He rolled in at the end, and he kind of kept his balance. But, hey, Leo Aragus, the kicker and the punter, he's second on the team and stopped special teams-wise, and that's not a good sign for the Raiders.
And that play eventually led to a touchdown for the Buffalo Bills. Doug Flutie working his magic as he's done basically throughout the season. 3 touchdowns in this game. All 3 have gone to tight ends. 2 for Buffalo, 1 for Oakland. Jay Remersma and Lonnie Johnson for the Bills.
And coming into this game, you would think it'd be the wide receivers, Eric Mold, Tim Brown, Andre Reed. Well, it's the big guys. It's the tight ends that have coming up for the big plays on both teams. And I expect to see a lot of that in the second half.
And Jay Remersma, his 6th touchdown reception of the season, tying a Buffalo Bills team record for most touchdowns by a tight end. He's now in the record books with Pete Metzelaars. The Bills will kick it off. Buffalo has won 8 of its last 10 games after starting the season 0-3. Losses to San Diego, Miami, and St. Louis. You think about that, a win over San Diego or a win over St. Louis, and obviously what took place a couple of weeks ago with the New England Patriots. And the Bills might be in the driver's seat right now for the AFC East title with 10 or 11 wins. Desmond Howard will return from inside the 5. Howard able to get to the outside to get some extra yardage. And the Bills will have it 1st and 10 from the 27. Jonathan Litton with the tackle on special teams. Halftime stats, time of possession. Nearly 18 minutes in favor of the Buffalo Bills. You see the passing yards from Doug Flutie, and you see the 3rd down conversions as well. Just the 1 turnover for Oakland. It was an interception. Wade Wilson threw it, but the Bills scored off of that turnover. Wilson with a 1st and 10. They spot the football at the 26. Tim Brown in motion. Wilson will throw on 1st down, or will he? He does get it off, and it is Tim Brown shy of the 30-yard line. Ted Washington was applying a lot of pressure in the backfield. We talked to John Gruden about Ted Washington. He said, yeah, he's the perfect nose tackle because he lines up with both guards, the left guard and the right guard, because of that big body.
Now, when Wade Wilson sees Ted Washington come after him, it's almost a panic. Let's get rid of the ball because you don't want big Ted laying on top of me, but he slams him to the turf. Wade Wilson's been great at getting the ball off before the rush has gotten to him today.
On 2nd and 7. Wilson pumping and throwing. In stride, James Jett. And he's twirled out of bounds by Gabe Northern. Just a bit shy of the marker. Injury update on Thomas Smith. Sprained knee. He will not return. Smith went down in the 1st quarter, the starting right cornerback for the Buffalo Bills.
What the Oakland Raiders have to do is be methodical with their offense now. Go to that West Coast offense, drop the ball 4-yard gains, 5-yard gains, get the defense off balance, throw in a couple of runs, and then every once in a great while, go for the throat downfield vertically.
On 3rd and 1, Harvey Williams in the backfield. Williams getting the call and running into a brick wall. The line of scrimmage was the 36. They had to cross the 36 for the 1st down. And the spot, of course, will be important as Ted Washington got his big body right into the fray.
And I'll tell you what, 3rd and short yardage situations, if you're going to run the ball, I'm not running against that guy right there. He's one of the best at stuffing 1, 2, 3 blockers in the hole at the line of scrimmage, and you're just not going to move him. Run around him, run away from him.
You're a man that can speak from experience on this. Is that man 325 pounds?
He may be a biscuit or a Diet Coke away from 400.
Oh, no. He's
big. That's a huge individual. At my heyday, I was about 305 in my heyday, and I looked not even close to that big specimen. But he can play with it. That's the key. He's a great nose guard, probably the best in the NFL.
Mark, I've seen some photos. You look mighty close to that specimen. Meanwhile, Oakland did not get the 1st down. They came up just inches shy. So the 3rd punt of the day for Leo Aragus. Kevin Williams almost broke one earlier. Aragoose averaging 43.5 yards per punt. Long punt for Aragoose. Sends Williams back to the 11. Kevin Williams looking to make something happen. Cutting it inside. Trying to get to the outside. And he's brought down to the 26 by Terry Mickens. 53-yard punt, 15-yard return. Buffalo has the ball in the lead.
Guess what? Susie Fetterman got sick, so I don't have to be the dumb dinosaur. I get to be the peacock.
Great. Peacock.
Want to get away? Southwest has your ticket to freedom. For only $99 or less, you can fly coast to coast when you purchase by December 16th.
You are now free to move about the country.
Some guys are born romantics.
He's looking at you, kid.
But for the rest of us, there's Kay Jewelers.
This Christmas, Kay's quarter-carat diamond earrings start from just $99.95.
Here's looking at you, kid.
Kay Jewelers for a legendary romance like yours.
Ding dong. Hello. The champagne's not Corbel. Uh-oh. Gotta go. Ding dong. Hello. The champagne's not Corbel. Uh-oh. Gotta go.
Corbel, official champagne of the Millennium Celebration.
Get ready. The new Volkswagens are coming.
Tuesday, 2 JAG officers tried to help a troubled girl.
Did your stepfather hurt you?
Yes. Make sure she's protected.
Where's Chloe?
She's gone. A special holiday JAG, CBS Tuesday.
This telecast is copyrighted by the NFL for the private use of our audience. Any other use of this telecast or any pictures, descriptions, or accounts of the game without the NFL's consent is prohibited.
Early third quarter here in Orchard Park. And the Buffalo Bills with a 20-7 lead on the Oakland Raiders. Buffalo has the football, 1st and 10 from their own 27-yard line. Reed, the motion man. Flutie on the give. Antoine Smith trying to power ahead. Smith brought down at the 30-yard line, a gain of 3 on 1st down. First half possessions for the Buffalo Bills. Started out with the punt, and then after that it was success followed by more success. Field goal, touchdown, touchdown, field goal, and the 20-7 advantage. And Wade Phillips, you talk about Coach of the Year candidates, you might have to mention his name. The expectation level here in Buffalo was more along 7, maybe 8 wins. Thurman Thomas in the backfield. Flutie throwing. Wide open Reimers muff. And a big play into Oakland territory. This Raiders defense comes in with a big reputation, but they are not living up to it play to play to play consistently here today.
And we talked about it at halftime that they've used the tight ends very well today, and Jay Reimers just comes across the field, makes a great catch. The Oakland defense in the secondary, they're so concerned with Andre Reed and Eric Moulds on the outside and Thurman Thomas coming out of the backfield, they tend to forget about that tight end. Well, the tight end's been burning them today. Reimers already has a touchdown pass, plus that big reception, and he's been magnificent, not only catching the ball, but also blocking for the running game for the Buffalo Bills.
Actually went to Michigan as a quarterback. Flutie throwing, sideline route. Andre Reed couldn't bring it in, but a flag on the play. Bucky Brooks, man-to-man coverage with the veteran. At first, it looked like Reed was going to make that catch on sheer concentration.
33, defense, automatic first down.
It is Brooks called for the pass interference.
And not only that, the way that Doug Flutie puts that ball in there, he drops that ball right into Andre Reed where he can catch it, makes a good move to the outside. Now it's just a race. Can I beat him? Here comes the pass from Flutie. It's right where it needs to be, out in front of him, in front of his jersey. All he has to do is just haul that ball in. That's a catchable pass, but he does get hit on the arm. He only had one hand to grab it, but it was a great effort by the wide receiver, Andre Reed.
Maybe part of the problem, Brooks never looked back for the football. 1st and 10 from the 17. Williams in motion. On the give. Thurman Thomas. 11th year in the NFL. And every now and again he can show you what he was like back in the early 90s. Kevin Williams laying out a block for him.
And he gets good blocking up front. Jamie nails the offensive lineman. He trips going through the hole, but he sustains his balance and keeps heading downfield. And, hey, Thurman Thomas is a guy that's going to go to the Hall of Fame with what he's done in his career, Ryan. And here's a guy that when they replaced him, it could have been one of those things, well, I want to be the starter. It's like, no, I want to help us win. What can I do to help this team win? And that's a tremendous attitude to have.
Showing professionalism as well. 2nd and 1. Play clock winding down. Inside handoff, Sam Gash. 1st down yardage for Gash as he sprawled out across the 5.
I think Sam Gash was so excited they gave him the ball to carry. He ran over the quarterback, Doug Flutie, on the handoff. I mean, he's close to the line of scrimmage. He doesn't get that many touches, but he was that close to the line. He just said, forget it. I'm not only taking the ball, I'll take the quarterback. Give me the ball to give me a carry. And he's been a great guy to have, instrumental in this program and in his ability to block. Not only that, but on the off the field, the locker room guy. When you talk about locker room guys, everyone points to Sam Gash and what he's brought to the Buffalo Bills.
Just his 9th carry of the season. 1st and goal, just inside the 5. Smith, he's got an opening. Touchdown! Antoine Smith brings it in. Seventh rushing touchdown of the season for Smith. And the first touchdown we have seen today, not from a tight end.
And what a job by the offensive line of sustaining their backside blocks. That play was meant to go to the middle of the field to the left. He cut it all the way back to the right, broke a couple tackles. He was in for the score.
And the Buffalo Bills are just cruising. Extra point from Christie. A 5-play, 73-yard drive, culminating in the Antoine Smith touchdown. Buffalo with a 20-point lead.
It started as a curiosity.
I seen him around in the neighborhood.
A curiosity that became a mystery.
He is a bit of a mystery.
A mystery wrapped in a riddle carrying a what?
Wow, what's that, honey?
Oh, it's a Borg.
A Borg?
Yeah.
A Borg from Star Trek?
What's the Borg doing?
An invader from the 24th century?
A Borg is a cybernetic organism. It's a collective organism.
But where does a kid from Brooklyn find a cybernetic organism?
He got it on the web. On the web.
The web. Of course. E-business is everywhere.
Where else would you buy a Borg?
So there's a place where you can find out about the new movie Star Trek Insurrection and see one incredible online store. IBM is helping lots of companies solve the mystery of e-commerce, including the Star Trek online store and IBM e-business.
Clutch muscle?
Yeah. Get ready. The new Volkswagens are coming.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Southwest Airlines, proud sponsor of the NFL and official airline of the Super Bowl. Volkswagen. On the road of life, there are passengers and there are drivers. And by Propecia, talk to your doctor today.
Buffalo Bills fans have been pleasantly surprised with what they have seen from their team this season. 27-7. Buffalo has the lead on Oakland with 10:31 to play in the third quarter. 5 straight scores for the Buffalo Bills on 5 consecutive possessions. Desmond Howard off of the bounce, stringing it to the outside. Howard tried to cut it back. And they'll spot the football at the 27. Manny Martin with the tackle. Antoine Smith with a touchdown run.
Joe Panos, Jerry Ostrowski, they run a slip block here between the down man. Watch Antoine Smith. He's going to take it here and cut it back. His blocking by Sam Gash. The defense will flow. I know that's a lot in there, but keep an eye on the backside. Jerry Ostrowski, it's a seal block on the slip. He keeps his hands on the defender. He trips Russell Maryland with his feet. Antoine Smith, with a great vision looking downfield, decides to cut it back for the touchdown.
12 carries, 49 yards, and the score for Smith. First and 10 for Oakland from the 27. And Wade Wilson unable to make the connection to Harvey Williams. Incomplete. Now you start thinking about the Oakland Raiders, and maybe this is their season. The Raiders on the brink of playoff elimination. Haven't been to the postseason since 1993. Can be mathematically eliminated from the playoffs with a loss here today and a New England win and a Miami win. Second and 10. Of course, the Dolphins and the Jets going tonight. Jets will come here to Orchard Park next week. Wilson throwing to Dudley. He lost the football. Ricky Dudley coughing it up. And Phil Hansen recovering the fumble.
But Ian, Phil Hansen comes up with the ball, but what a stick by Ken Irvin on the outside. Ricky Dudley just goes out to the flat, drifts out, catches the ball. The stick right there on the football by Ken Irvin jars the ball loose, and Phil Hansen, just with his hustle, recovers the fumble.
Ken Irvin with the hit, jarring the ball. Second fumble recovery of the season for Hansen. And for Irvin, his second forced fumble. Second turnover for Oakland. And now the Bills can add to their already strong lead of 27-7. Gash in the backfield in motion. Smith. Antoine Smith spun down at the 11-yard line. 8-yard gain on first down. Dusty Ziegler. Joe Panos, along with Jamie Nails, providing that hole for Smith.
Second down, 3.
The Buffalo Bills are now +8 on the season in turnover ratio. Take a look at what they were in 1997. -20. What a turnaround it's been, and it's showing in their one-loss record. Smith trying to move forward for the first down. Darrell Russell able to wrap him up. Had to get across the 10-yard line to move the chains. See where they spot the football.
And that's a nice push by the offensive line, but even harder running by the tailback Antoine Smith. Following his blockers, leaning forward and following the guys up front, finding a hole, but not going down by the first tackler, breaking through the first tackler and making 2-3 guys bring him down.
He is now 19 yards shy of the 1,000-yard mark. This is a 3rd and 1. Just under 9 minutes to play in the third. Buffalo with a 20-point lead. Smith is met. Terry Wooden, the first man to get there, came firing in, and the Oakland defense holds. The field goal unit will come on to try to put 3 points on the board.
Like the blitz inside by Richard Harvey stuffed Sam Gash in the backfield, and tailback Antoine Smith had to cut the ball to the right where he wanted to take it to the left, and that allowed Terry Wooden to make the tackle for the loss. You've got to look at the offensive line in the scheme of things. When you get penetration on a running play and the back has to cut it back in short yardage, there's virtually no chance of picking up big yardage.
Steve Christie connects on his 3rd field goal of the day. A 32-yarder. Off the turnover, Buffalo tacks on 3.
Are you concerned about losing more hair? Do you wonder how much further it will go? Do you wish you could do something about it? Well, there's a pill for men with certain types of hair loss. It's called Propecia. In clinical studies, the vast majority of men, 83%, maintain their current hair count, and most, 66%, regrew some hair. Take it daily and you could see results in as little as 3 months. Propecia is for men only. A small number of men experience certain sexual side effects. Each occurred in less than 2% of men. Women who are or may potentially be pregnant must not use it or handle broken tablets because of the risk of a specific kind of birth defect. Talk to your doctor or pharmacist and read the consumer information they can provide. Propecia, helping make hair loss history.
We all know how much help buddies can be.
Looking good. You all right on that?
So get to work, man. A powerful clamp that can go anywhere and hold anything.
Oh.
The work, man.
Breeze feels good, doesn't it?
Built by Black & Decker.
Get ready. The new Volkswagens are coming.
All day long, 4 quarters. Defense, defense, defense. That's what it's all about, defense.
I second that emotion. D-time, baby.
It's all about that defense.
D-time.
The home of the NCAA Basketball Championship, CBS Sports.
John Gruden's Oakland Raiders are running out of time. 8:09 left in the third quarter, and they trail 30-7. Al Davis, synonymous with the name Raiders, whether it's Oakland or Los Angeles. December has been a problem. The principal owner, president of the general partner, Desmond Howard on the return. And Howard is tackled at the 25-yard line by Marlo Perry. Coming up Monday on CBS, Ted Danson stars as a doctor who is not afraid to tell it like it is. Critics are calling it the best new comedy of the year. Catch an all-new Becker Monday on CBS. (30-7), Buffalo in front. Wade Wilson getting his first start of the season, less than 2 months shy of his 40th birthday. On a handoff for Harvey Williams. Raiders really just did not have much of a choice. Jeff George out with that groin injury. Donald Hollis ineffective a week ago, and the injured wrist. And the wild card update. Tampa Bay leading Pittsburgh 13-3. Tennessee and Jacksonville are tied at 10. Both of those scores are in the third. The Bills get into the playoffs with a win over Oakland, plus a Tennessee loss to Jacksonville and a Tampa Bay win over Pittsburgh. Everything just about working for the Bills so far today. Wilson throwing it. He lost the football. Phil Hansen scooping it up into the end zone. Touchdown, Buffalo. And what is becoming more and more clear, this is not just Doug Flutie. This is a good football team.
Well, not only that, the defense has always been known in Buffalo, and they're led by Bruce Smith on defense. He makes this whole play go, but Phil Hansen today, Johnny on the spot, comes up with a fumble recovery last series. Here he comes up with one and runs it in for a touchdown, but Bruce Smith coming off the edge, putting pressure on the backside of Wade Wilson. He never had a chance to see him strip some of the ball. That's the play.
Extra point from Christie. Buffalo gets a touchdown off of a fumble recovery for the first time in 35 games. This is a blowout.
You guys are in here again? I can't believe this. You're always in here nursing your injuries. I have never seen such a group of cream puffs in my life. This is football. I need guys that can play.
Man, I thought he'd never leave.
For the great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down, make it a Bud Light.
Hot dog, anyone?
The North Star system, performance and technology that set Cadillac apart from every other luxury car in the world. Now, for a limited time during the Cadillac Performance Drive, a 1999 Seville with the North Star system can be yours for just $549 a month and just $14.99 due at lease signing. Seville for just $549 a month. A powerful way to set yourself apart during the Cadillac Performance Drive. See your Cadillac dealer today.
Mike Ditka for 1-800-COLLECT.
Hey, come on, ladies! Hey, get mad! Make believe I just insulted your mama. Or make believe I just traded you.
Make believe I just called you collect without using 1-800-COLLECT.
Hey, but it's 10 cents a minute every evening with 1-800-COLLECT.
Stop, guys. I was only kidding. Stop.
1-800-COLLECT. 10 cents a minute every evening all week long.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Bud Light. For the great taste that won't fill you up and never lets you down, make it a Bud Light. And by IBM. Are you ready for e-business?
They love their football here in Buffalo, and when the Bills are successful, this town rallies around them. They've been successful today, 37-7. Desmond Howard down at the 30-yard line. 39-year-old Wade Wilson taking a beating here today.
He needs help with the guys up front, and Bruce Smith comes out with an outside rush to the outside here to get the quarterback, Wade Wilson. Nice move, a nice little stunt. Ricky Dudley has to pick him up the tight end. There's no chance with the explosiveness of Bruce Smith, but Phil Hansen picks the ball up and staggers into the end zone, but gets in there for the touchdown. Major play for the Buffalo Bills, but it all starts with Bruce Smith on the stunt from the outside, getting the quarterback, Wade Wilson, even on a sore knee, had an injured knee from last week's game.
Registering his 9th sack of the season as Harvey Williams tippy-toes his way through the inside and ahead to the 34-yard line. John Holisek making the stop, the inside linebacker.
And Bruce Smith, over the course of time, he gets better and better. He's like a fine wine. And sometimes when he's got problems rushing against a guy that's given him problems in the past or he hasn't gotten a sack on, he'll pick up the phone and call Deacon Jones and say, hey, what can I do? What can I bring out from the past? And he'll say, be patient, go with the move, set him up like a baseball player, throw a little fastball, go upfield, and come underneath with a curved ball and get the guy thinking and confusion in his mind.
Wilson is down again. Sam Rogers. 3rd sack of the day for the Buffalo defense.
And now comes the onslaught. Defensive coordinator Ted Cottrell, they know they have to throw, so they're going to blitz. Delayed blitzes, try to disguise things. They don't blitz a lot, but they blitz with Sam Rogers on this play, and he just fights off the protection and gets in for the sack on Wade Wilson.
Rogers with 4.5 sacks this season. 2nd-round pick back in 1994. And a 3rd and 12. Wilson guns it. Long throw. Incomplete. Jet the intended receiver. Donovan Greer down the sideline, stride for stride. First-year pro out of Texas A&M.
And that was a pretty play by Donovan Greer, going strides for stride with James Jett, a known speedster in the NFL, turning, looking at the ball, and breaking on it, sticking his arm out the last minute to swat the ball away.
4th punt of the day for Leo Araguz, who set the NFL record for punts in a game earlier this season against San Diego. Those two teams will be matched up once again 1 week from today. The Chargers and Raiders. Kevin Williams catches cleanly at the 30. Took the sideline route and got a couple of extra yards. 5-yard return following the 42-yard punt. The Bills offense will take the field with a 30-point lead.
The North Star System, performance and technology that set Cadillac apart from every other luxury car in the world. Now, for a limited time during the Cadillac Performance Drive, a 1999 DeVille with the North Star System can be yours for just $499 a month and just $999 due at lease signing. DeVille for just $499 a month, a powerful way to set yourself apart during the Cadillac Performance Drive. See your Cadillac dealer today.
Our new Steakhouse Bacon Cheeseburger with its naturally smoked blend of Swiss and cheddar, bacon, and sauteed onions in a steak sauce has turned Wendy's into a first-class steakhouse.
Welcome to Wendy's.
Table up front. Dig in.
I'm a CEO. I'm an engineer.
I'm a student.
We needed a server-based network. Powerful workstation.
The notebook with DVD.
For 16,000 people. But what I wanted...
What I needed.
I couldn't find. Then Dell came to see me. So I called Dell.
I went to Dell on the internet.
And they built it. And they built it.
Just for me.
Just for us.
And amazingly enough...
This direct way. Actually costs less.
Actually costs less.
That's genius. Be direct. Dell. Dell computers use Intel Pentium 2 processors.
Enterprise rent a car for my trip? Looks expensive.
It's not expensive, Mom.
They pick us up? Sounds expensive.
Pickup's free, Mom.
Well, if it's not expensive, why didn't I get a convertible?
Pick Enterprise. We'll pick you up. She's a cop framed for a CIA murder. Now they want her dead.
You want to survive this thing, or do you want to play by the rules?
Oh my God.
All new NASH, CBS Friday.
The most points the Buffalo Bills have scored this season, 37. And they have the 30-point edge on the Oakland Raiders here in the third quarter. Raiders trying to avoid their fourth consecutive loss. They have dropped 4 of their last 5. They were 7-3 at one point. They're now 7-6. Jonathan Linton is in the backfield. 2 tight ends set for Doug Flutie. On a 1st and 10 from the 36. Linton trying to bounce off the would-be tackler Terry Wooden, as he was able to spin around, but Wooden held on. And for the Oakland Raiders, I think, Mark, you look big picture. Certainly this is an improvement from a year ago, but let's say they finished, for argument's sake, with 8 wins after winning just 4 last season. You say, well, a better season. But the way they ended their season, the way they got to 8 wins, that's a little difficult to swallow. It's one thing if you start out slowly and you win 3 of your last 4 to finish with 8. To lose 4 of your last 5, 7 of your last 8, that's tough to take.
Particularly when a team has a history of doing that over the last few years, and you'd like to finish strong, and I'm sure that's on John Gruden's mind. The last 2 weeks he wants to finish strong.
Antoine Smith wasn't looking, and Flutie trying to dump it off to the flat, incomplete.
And I've been in this position before. You fight through a season, you think you're going to go to the playoffs, and you're still not totally out of it. But you're dejected. You're on the road. This is a win where it's a must-win. Well, last week was a must-win, and they didn't come up. They came up short. And
Out of bounds, 3rd down, inbound spot.
And this week, here's a must-win for them also. And it's total dejection. You're saying, hey, we've got a shot for the playoffs. At one time, they were 7-3. And now they're going to be 7-7 at the end of this game. That's the way it looks like it's going to be. And it's tough to get it together, and the guys have to rally, and they have to rally around each other in the locker room, because they're going to get a lot of arrows slinged in their direction from the media and from the fans when they get back to Oakland.
Bills are backed up because the officials ruled that was a lateral, a backward pass. And Buffalo forced to take a timeout as the play clock was winding down. Stops the clock with 4:59 to play in the third. And the Bills with a 37-7 lead on the Oakland Raiders. Coming up tonight, 60 Minutes looks at Bill Clinton's game plan. Who tells him which plays work and which ones don't? You don't know? Guess what? You do. They'll explain it tonight on 60 Minutes. Then don't miss a very special holiday episode of Touched by an Angel, followed by Grace and Glory, a Hallmark Hall of Fame presentation starring Jenna Rollins and Diane Lane. A great night of entertainment right here this evening on CBS. Great day for football here in Orchard Park. Not too cold, obviously no snow. Mid-December, normally expect at least some sprinkles, if not some inches accumulating on the ground. On 3rd and 20, Flutie, little swing pass. Linton. Jonathan Linton getting past the original line of scrimmage as Lance Johnstone made the tackle, and the Bills come up short of a 1st down.
And Doug Flutie is just amazing. It's the way that he plays the game. It's at a different level. It's a different game, and he drifts back a lot. And as an offensive lineman, you don't like that, but he has a great touch on the ball. And we talked to him yesterday. He said, yeah, I drift a lot of times, and they told me in the CFL not to do it, in the USFL not to do it, in the NFL not to do it, but I'm still here playing football. And as an offensive lineman, if it's a 12-step drop, I want to know who that quarterback's going to be. But he says the offensive linemen are comfortable with it, and we've been successful with it.
Jonathan Linton with his first reception of his NFL career on that play. Chris Moore, the punter. Desmond Howard from the 24. Howard's got a lane. Desmond Howard turning on the afterburners, and he's gone. Touchdown, Oakland.
Desmond Howard, 78-yard return into the end zone for a winner's touchdown.
Desmond Howard taking it the distance, 76 yards, following the 40-yard punt.
It's been a long time since Desmond Howard's returned one, and as you can see right there, it was back in Super Bowl 31. But this team needed a spark and a quick spark, and that's how you get back in the ball game on a quick return like that for a touchdown. And that can give this team life. They can build on that. It's not like they're going to come back immediately, but John Gruden knows that he needed a shot in the arm, and he got it on that return by Desmond Howard.
The extra point from Greg Davis.
Davis's extra point is good.
And the Oakland Raiders cut into the Buffalo lead, but it's still 37-14.
And Desmond Howard gets a great block by Kenny Shedd on the play, follows his blockers in his lanes, and it's just off to the races at the end of the play. Right there, Kenny Shedd after Chris Moore, the kicker, and Desmond Howard never breaks stride, and he's gone into the end zone.
This is what they brought them to Oakland to do, and Howard has been unable to do it up until this point. He's been considered a disappointment, and question marks as to whether or not Howard's future in the NFL will be in the Bay Area. He's been bouncing around, Desmond Howard. Drafted originally by Washington, was with Jacksonville, Green Bay, of course, in the Super Bowl, and now the Oakland Raiders.
And he's a guy that in Washington they thought that he was going to be the solution in the heir apparent to Art Monk, and he never fulfilled those shoes. And Joe Gibbs, it was his last draft with the Redskins when he picked Desmond Howard. They thought he was going to be a star.
And one of 4 Heisman Trophy winners participating in the game here today. The President's Cup is coming up immediately following our coverage of the NFL here today on CBS. The international team currently leading the United States 14.5 points to 5.5, and you need to get to 16.5 points to win. The Heisman Trophy winners: Desmond Howard, Tim Brown, Charles Woodson. 3 for the Oakland Raiders. And of course Doug Flutie for the Buffalo Bills. Kevin Williams spun down on the sideline.
Williams on the return.
Mike Morton making the play on special teams. Talk about the Heisman. Ricky Williams getting that award last night at the Downtown Athletic Club in New York. Doug Flutie, of course, back in 1984. The miracle comeback against Miami, adding to the legend that is Doug Flutie. And really interesting talking to him yesterday. Obviously, he's happy with what he's been able to accomplish here, but you sense that he's also a bit upset that he never really got the chance to start in the NFL over a 7 or 8 year period. He went to Canada, enjoyed his time there, yes, but every time he had to prove himself all over again. And a mix-up. Flutie on the handoff for Antoine Smith. They collided as Terry Wooden was there to greet him. What'd you think about speaking with Flutie yesterday?
And it's almost like he was a little bitter about it, but the time when Doug Flutie came out as a quarterback, that's when the quarterbacks in the NFL, they wanted this 6'4" prototype pocket quarterback that could drop back, read, throw the ball vertically downfield, throw the long outs with a strong arm. They weren't ready for this type of quarterback. Well, lately it's the Steve Youngs and the Cordell Stewarts and the mobile quarterback that can get away from the rush and improvise and make big plays. That's what's thriving in the NFL, and that's why Doug Flutie has come back, and he's doing terrific now in the NFL.
This is Flutie at his best, a 5-receiver set, getting the ball off and throwing it out of bounds. With an even 3 minutes to play in the third quarter, Pat Swilling applying the pressure and forcing Flutie out of the pocket. Wade Phillips told us, hey, it's just been fun watching this guy. You watch film after the game and you have to rewind it because you don't believe that he did it the first time around.
And a couple of times it's like, what was that? What was that? And Doug Flutie says, well, I've been making these plays ever since I've been in high school, so it's no big deal for me. It's not that I think about it. It's just a reaction because I've done it 100 times in my career.
6-2 as a starter this season for the Buffalo Bills, trying to make it 7-2 with Buffalo in front 37-14. They just get the play off. Flutie, plenty of time. Will tuck it and run. Doug Flutie, he got crushed.
Wow.
At the 35-yard line. Let us not forget Flutie claims to be 5'10", closer to 5'9", 175 pounds on that 12-yard run. Just take a listen to Doug Flutie trying to make something happen off the scramble.
And this is the impact of the NFL.
He did not get the brunt of that hit because he did duck his head just at the last second. Calvin Branch came in full steam, and Flutie avoided a crushing blow. Bills forced to punt. Desmond Howard goes to the outside after returning the last punt for a touchdown. Big smile on his face. He's got that infectious grin, Desmond Howard. He is a likable guy.
But when you contribute like he has, and he did contribute today, feels good about himself. And I think he's going to help this team down the road. But they need more out of Desmond Howard, not only as just a returner, but as a backup wide receiver.
Well, coming up next Sunday, most of you will see the Oakland Raiders travel to face their California nemesis, the San Diego Chargers, right here on CBS. Throwing on first down. Tim Brown, the intended receiver, was incomplete. In on the coverage, John Holisek. And the clock is stopped with 2:02 left in the third quarter. Still plenty of time, but the Oakland Raiders have just not shown enough offensively to give any indication they can get back into this game.
And they know they have to throw the ball, and they've got to do a better job of protecting Wade Wilson. Pat Williams came on the rush and dumped Wade Wilson down on the last play, but they're only rushing 4 rushers. They can protect Wade Wilson, and they need to do a better job of it.
Straight back. Ball is tipped. Nearly intercepted. Sam Cowart had a golden opportunity. Tim Brown was in the vicinity.
And this is a time where it's fun for the defense, but not fun for the offense, because those defenders are going to rush the quarterback. A lot of the times as an offensive lineman, you're going to be left one-on-one in space, and the defense is having fun. They're flying around trying to make big plays, interceptions, trying to cause fumbles, trying to get to the quarterback.
Now, a 3rd and 10 from the 27. The Raiders have 1 yard in the second half. Now they have less. Eric Smedley coming on a safety blitz. 4th sack of the afternoon for Buffalo.
And no one touches Eric Smedley on the outside. Wade Wilson's been in the league long enough. You have to smell a rat when those guys are close to the line of scrimmage, because they shouldn't be there. He never gets a chance to step up in the pocket. Eric Smedley takes an outstanding angle to get to quarterback Wade Wilson.
1st sack of the season for Smedley. And a loss of 6 on the play. 4th down. Aragoose. Take a couple of hops out of bounds. And the Bills will have strong field position at the 127 mark of the third quarter. Most sacks allowed this season, the Oakland Raiders.
Wow.
Leading the NFL, a dubious distinction with 60 sacks allowed. Philadelphia and Washington, 54 apiece.
I'll tell you, as an ex-offensive lineman, that's something you don't want to lead the league in. And it's tough for you to look your quarterback in the eye after he's been tattooed the entire afternoon, because you haven't done a good job. And even individually, if you haven't given up a sack, your group hasn't done a good enough job protecting your quarterback.
That's 6 eyes they have to look at, because there are 3 quarterbacks that they've been protecting all season.
And 2 of them are injured.
Hollis and George. On the pitch, Antoine Smith. Angled to the outside and forced out of bounds after about a 5-yard run. On first down, Sam Gash laying out a block, and Smith inching closer and closer to the 1,000-yard mark on the season.
It's a nice job by Antoine Smith of his patience of just following his fullback Sam Gash to the outside. Sam Gash laying out blocks all over the entire field. And he was a major acquisition for this team to pick up this year, because he was key. If they were going to go to a lot of I formation and 2-back formation, they had to have a big, strong fullback that can block, and that's Sam Gash.
Call it 2nd and 4. On the reverse, Kevin Williams stringing it to the outside. Williams cutting it back for the first down. He ran the wrong way about 12 yards, then was able to cut it back and got some positive yardage and a new set of downs.
And this has got to be frustrating for the Oakland defense, almost adding insult to injury, up by 23 points at the end of the third quarter and running a reverse. That's like kind of pushing it in the face of the defense, saying we can do just about virtually anything we want against this defense.
Time winding down here in the third quarter. First and 10 at midfield. Smith and Gash in the backfield. Johnson in motion. Antoine Smith straight ahead, and nothing there as Oakland was prepared, and there are the tempers flaring a bit, and maybe it is connected to what Mark was discussing regarding the reverse on the previous play. End of the third quarter. 37-14 Bills. Back after a word from your local station.
Monday, it's Becker on death.
Have you given any thought to the afterlife?
Are you two going to be there?
Yes, sir. That's why we're here.
Ted Danson is Becker. All new CBS Monday.
The address is CBS.
Welcome home.
Mike Tyson is back. Tyson versus Botha, Saturday, January 16th, live on pay-per-view.
Welcome back to the MBNA Visa All-Star Game. These cards are amazing, and the fans love them.
Yeah, and who wouldn't? I mean, with stats like no annual fee and a low introductory annual percentage rate. Join the team today by calling 1-800-NFL-9919 and get an officially licensed NFL team duffel bag free after the first use of your new NFL Visa card.
NFL Team Visa cards take you where the action is. Call 1-800-NFL-9919 today to receive your free NFL duffel bag.
Iron Eagle Mark May rejoining you from Orchard Park, New York, where the Buffalo Bills have a sizable lead, 37-14. The Bills have done it with a little bit of everything. Great defense, special teams. Flutie has shown us a thing or two here this afternoon. Thurman Thomas in the backfield. First play here on the fourth. And it was knocked away by Charles Woodson. Eric Moulds, the intended target. Take a look at the wild card update. Tampa Bay now leading Pittsburgh 13-3 in the third quarter. And Tennessee has taken the lead on Jacksonville 13-10. Another injured quarterback for the Jaguars.
Tom Coughlin's done an outstanding job of building the system down there, but you can't continue to lose one and two of your starting quarterbacks and stay competitive and win.
The Bills can get into the playoffs with a win over Oakland today, plus a Tennessee loss to Jacksonville and a Tampa Bay win over Pittsburgh. Flutie, knocked down. Lance Johnstone getting a piece on 3rd and 8. That's been the criticism of Doug Flutie, but you know what? You see passes deflected at the line of scrimmage every week in the NFL. Not because a guy's just 5'9" does it happen. This is a big lineman with major wingspans.
Absolutely, and for Doug Flutie to sit back in the pocket, he's going to step up and throw the ball down the field, but Lance Johnstone gets good penetration. He just jumps at the end. It's a great play by a defender that's smart enough to know when the quarterback cocks his arm back to get your hands up in the air and jump.
Chris Moore, the punt. Desmond Howard already has a touchdown. He'll let this one bounce into the end zone. Oakland trailing 37-14. They'll be on offense when we come back.
Meet Sean Graham, veteran stuntman. Walks away every time, then drives away. Chevy S10, like a rock.
Welcome back, 37-14.
The kicking team, number 21. went out of bounds, came back in, and touched the ball. It's a 5-yard penalty. Replay 4th down.
Late flag was thrown on the play. So the Bills will be forced to punt it again.
I think John Gruden wanted a clearer explanation than that, and he's not getting it. That's why he's upset. But no matter how the Raiders finish up, they've already won more games than they had last year. Just talking to John Gruden, the passion that he has for the game and the excitement he has for his players, and he's got that attitude that he's never going to give up, that they're always in this thing and they're always going to play and fight to the end of the game.
He's done a good job. 6th youngest head coach in NFL history. Each week a learning process for John Gruden. And the Oakland Raiders at 7-6. Are moving closer and closer to being knocked out of playoff contention. We'll break away. 14:40 left in the 4th. Buffalo in front.
South Florida, a true story. A man was out walking one day when he discovered a bag filled with jewelry. When no one claimed it, he ended up with over $1 million. When it comes to retirement, you can depend on luck or you can depend on us, Sun America. Ask about our personal retirement portfolios and don't leave your future to chance. Sun America, the retirement specialist.
Hey Gordita fans, check out the Gordita Supreme. Seasoned ground beef, a blend of cheeses, cool sour cream, and freshly chopped tomatoes, all on warm, pillowy flatbread. Just 99 cents. We're making one for you right now. Better hurry.
Can't this boat go any faster?
And now the Late Show question of the week.
What's the longest shower you've ever taken after a game?
I never take showers.
Buffalo with a 37-14 advantage. We are in the 4th quarter. The officials assume that Oakland would accept the penalty. John Gruden just wanted the option, and when given that option, he decided to decline it. So the Raiders will have it 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. Second half possessions. Punt, fumble, fumble, punt, punt. Ouch. Not the way to get yourselves back into a ball game. Randy Jordan in the backfield. And Jordan gets the carry. Randy Jordan down the sideline, and that is his first carry of the season. A 1st down for Oakland.
We spoke with John Gruden yesterday about Randy Jordan. He's going to get some plays. Kind of excited, waiting to see what he's going to do with the football when we give him an opportunity. But, that's what you do when you get a guy that hasn't carried the ball an awful lot in his career. In his first carry this year, they run hard, and they tend to run a little better than they normally do because they want to prove not only to their teammates but the coaching staff that they can get the job done.
Signed as a free agent formerly with Jacksonville. Wilson throwing. It's John Ritchie, the fullback. And Ritchie gets ahead to the 45-yard line. Marlo Perry staggering to hold on to him as he was finally brought down to the turf after a 13-yard hookup.
And that was a powerful run after the catch by John Ritchie, and Marlo Perry should have paid for that ticket, but that's the fight in this team that John Gruden talks about every week. His team's down, they don't lay down, they keep coming back and battling at the end of the game, and they won't give up.
Ritchie out of Stanford. He was a transfer from Michigan. Coaches just love his work ethic. Starting fullback as a rookie. 1st and 10. Wilson gunning. Incomplete. Tim Brown across the middle. The intended receiver.
And Ian, who's in his face? Bruce Smith. Ran another stunt on the left side of the defense, the right side of the offense. Phil Hansen and Bruce Smith, here he comes looping around, and there's no way a back's going to get him, and Mo Collins tries to chase him down, but he puts pressure on Wade Wilson again, and that's the thing, the knockdowns, the pressures, not only the sacks, the thing that Bruce Smith brings to the table, and that's the other part of Bruce Smith that you don't add up at the end of the season and say, well, he's second all-time sacks, but all the knockdowns and pressures and turnovers he's committed throughout his career, that's a big part of what Bruce Smith does.
Smith was the first pick in the '85 draft. You just saw Jeff George, the first pick in the 1990 draft. They just were not on the same page on that play. Kenny Shedd was the target, incomplete, and 3rd and 10 coming up for Oakland. Jeff George, he has played just 4 full games this season and none since September 27th. He's played in some games, but he hasn't completed games.
And he's a guy they need to get healthy and to stay healthy for an entire season to really find out what he can do for this Oakland Raider football franchise.
Yeah, we never really found out this year. We saw glimpses of it. But John Gruden's new offense, George was trying to get used to it himself. Eric Smedley on the safety blitz, and that's number 2 for him. 5th sack of the day for this Buffalo defense.
And Eric Smedley, when he cheats close to the line of scrimmage, he's right at the end of the line of scrimmage. Wade Wilson should know. He should have learned from the first time. And Lincoln Kennedy tries to get a hand on him, but Eric Smedley's just too fast and runs around the power of Lincoln Kennedy and drags down the quarterback, Wade Wilson.
Smedley, a 7th-round pick back in 1996. Sees action in the nickel and the dime situations. On the punt from Aragoose. Takes a roll, and it's corralled by Terry Mickens. A 44-yard punt, no return for Kevin Williams. 37-14. It's all Buffalo.
10, 9, 8. Hold the countdown.
Oh no.
Refill, refill, refill. I want more. Diet Dr. Pepper, it's the taste you've been looking for. Where are we?
Chevy Tahoe, like a rock.
Now we'll never get presents to all the boys and girls around the world. No toys?
Sorry.
Folks need a hand?
Nice hat. Let's get it on the truck. You're gonna love it.
You saved Christmas.
Glad I could help.
Hey, can I drive?
Season's greetings from UPS.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Chevy S10, like a rock, Dr. Pepper and your local Dr. Pepper bottler, and by Sun America, the retirement specialist.
The first of back-to-back home games for the Buffalo Bills as they lead the Oakland Raiders 37-14. Next Saturday, they are home for the New York Jets in a matchup that Buffalo Bills fans have been anticipating. Inside handoff, Sam Gash trying to push the pile as he gets it across the 20-yard line. About a 2.5, 3-yard gain on first down as Russell Maryland made the play. And depending upon what happens tonight between Miami and the Jets, Buffalo could be fighting for that division title in the AFC East. Flutie on a 2nd and 7. Gash in motion. Flutie wants to throw it. Quick little sideline route for Eric Moulds. A 10-yard pickup and a first down for Buffalo. Next Saturday, there it is. CBS Sports kicks off the weekend with an NFL national game. Vinny Testaverde and the Jets against Doug Flutie and the Buffalo Bills. It all begins at 12 Eastern with the NFL Today, and also high-definition television where available. Southwest Airlines, the NFL Today, next Saturday at noon on CBS. After that, Buffalo will be at New Orleans to wrap up the season. Oakland is at San Diego and then home for Kansas City in week 17 of the NFL's regular campaign. Thurman Thomas able to advance the football to the 35-yard line. As the clock continues to roll, you expect Buffalo to just keep it on the ground for the most part. In the AFC East, you see the schedules. The Jets at Miami, at Buffalo, then home for New England. Miami with a tough schedule the rest of the way with the Jets, Denver, and then at Atlanta to wrap up the season. New England has San Francisco and the Jets, and we just told you about the Buffalo Bills.
And as tight as the AFC East race is, everybody's got a tough schedule down the stretch. There are no Molly Putzes at the end of the schedule. They all have tough games to play.
There are no what?
Molly Putzes.
I'm not familiar. Is that something I should know and I'm just missing here?
A Molly Putz in terms of football expression is, as a player, it's a soft cupcake out there that you go against in practice, but you're never going to see one of those guys in the game. So it's like an opponent that you play against. It's just not a tough opponent.
Is that in the NFL manual? Because I didn't see that preparing for this season.
That's, you know, some of my terms like snot blower.
I see.
Slobber knocker.
Okay.
You know, that the old lineman jargon.
I see. You said what? What was the first one again?
Snot bubble.
Okay.
That's when somebody gives you a jarring hit in your chest, and you know, all the wind and everything comes right up to your nose, and a little bubble comes out of your nostril. And, you know, it's a little gross, but that's offensive line jargon.
Never been there. Never done that.
It's not fun.
3rd and 6, Flutie out of the gun. Incomplete. On the slant, Andre Reed. He's been making a living off of that route for about 14 years in the NFL. And the clock is stopped with 9:54 left in the 4th. Buffalo is in control. They lead at 37-14. They're forced to punt on a 4th down. Wade Phillips, first season as the head man in Buffalo, replacing a legend around these parts, Marv Levy. Early on, a lot of people around here were questioning whether or not it was the right move because of his laid-back demeanor. The team was 0-3. They've won 8 of their last 10, looking to make it 9 of 11. The punt from Moore. Howard takes it from the 13, sheds 1 tackler, and then goes to the sideline. An 11-yard return, 53-yard punt for Moore. And with 9:40 left, it's Buffalo 37-14.
It's what we call a global killer. The end of mankind.
You better not shout.
Somebody down 911!
You better not cry.
Just let it out.
You better not pout.
Something's wrong! Yeah, it's all wrong, man. We shouldn't even be up here.
We're telling you why.
Not a soul on earth can hide from it.
Armageddon's coming to town.
It might just be pieces of the shuttle breaking up. Yeah, it might be Santa Claus.
Own Armageddon on video before it's too late. Rated PG-13.
The more you do something, the better you get. State Farm's been settling car insurance claims for over 75 years. Millions of them. We've come up with a system that works so well that more drivers trust State Farm than all those cut-rate insurance companies put together. You're buying into that promise that we're going to be there to take care of you when the claim happens. Every day, State Farm handles over 30,000 claims. It's a practice makes perfect thing. That's the reason the competition doesn't stand a chance.
And like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Start something special.
Picture a mid-size performance sedan so sophisticated, it's as adept at handling finances as it is the road. For a short time, get 0.99 financing on all 99 Oldsmobiles. That means average finance savings of $2,700 on Intrigue. At the Start Something special event at your Oldsmobile dealer now.
This Christmas, 'tis better to give.
What's this?
It's a watch.
I have a watch.
Then receive.
Merry Christmas! Where do the clowns come out?
It's the Show Entertainment Weekly calls a near-perfect synthesis of Seinfeld and Raymond.
I can't go to work in this. I'm a teamster, for God's sake.
An all-new King of Queens, CBS Monday.
Buffalo with a comfortable lead. 9:40 to play in the fourth quarter. Now the Oakland Raiders will have the football, a 1st and 10 at the 25-yard line. 35-year-old John Gruden sent out 39-year-old Wade Wilson to be his quarterback here today. It's been a long afternoon for the veteran. Wilson throwing. And the catch made by Tim Brown. Able to haul it in. For Wilson, he's been sacked 5 times, 10 hurries.
Wow.
4 balls knocked down. This pretty much tells the story, I think, Mark.
And it's not just Wade Wilson when you look at this. He's only had 1 turnover, 1 interception, and that's, that could have been his. It could have been the wide receiver not coming down with the ball, but he needs help from his supporting cast, needs better protection from the linemen, needs bigger plays from the skill position people. That's not just Wade Wilson. He needs help.
He is under 100 yards, though, throwing the football. Going up the middle. Randy Jordan with Washington and Hanson collaborating on the stop. And the clock will continue to tick away. 8:50 and counting. And for Wilson, a guy who probably expected to just hold the clipboard the entire season as either the 2nd string or the 3rd string quarterback. Oldest quarterbacks in the NFL. Here's Wilson at 39. He will be 40 on February 1st. DeBerg at 44. That's just incredible. And Warren Moon now finds himself on the bench. Bailing out. He has it intercepted. Sam Rogers will take it back. Gabe Northern on the touchdown, a 40-yard return.
Brian again. The reason why there's an interception, Bruce Smith was in the face of quarterback Wade Wilson again. He does so much for this team. Big return by Gabe Northern, but without the pressure by Bruce Smith, pushing Wade Wilson back in the pocket and throwing that ball off of 1 foot, Gabe Northern does not get this interception and return it for a touchdown.
First interception return for a score since Cornelius Bennett did it back in 1995 against New England. And everybody's having some fun on this Buffalo defense. 4 turnovers for the Oakland Raiders. And the Bills have scored 24 points off of those turnovers. And just pouring it on here.
And a spin move on the outside by Bruce Smith, hitting quarterback Wade Wilson. John Hollis came in on the blitz also and hit Wade Wilson, but without that pressure, Wade Wilson throws this ball away or throws it to his wide receiver, but it's under duress that he's got to get this ball away. Spin move on the outside by Bruce Smith. There he is spinning. You're going to see him going for him, but then he feels the pressure of Holisek and Smith in his face, just trying to get rid of that ball and throw it away, but it goes right to Gabe Northern. He runs it back for the 40-yard touchdown return.
2nd career touchdown for Northern. That is his 1st interception of the season.
What do you say about that guy, Bruce Smith? Still doing it, his 14th year in the NFL, 2nd all-time in NFL history in sacks behind Reggie White, and can still bring it at 35 years old. That's impressive. And he came gimping into this game with a bad knee. It didn't look like it today.
And again, it just brings the point into focus that this is just a very good football team. Flutie got a lot of the attention during the 5-game winning streak, and rightfully so. He added some juice to this team. They needed something to get some attention around the NFL. Now, everybody is contributing. He has helped make Eric Moulds a star, and Moulds obviously a lot of hard work, and his confidence level has risen dramatically here in his 3rd season. Andre Reed still doing what is expected of him, another big year. Antoine Smith provides the balance in the running game, and defensively, they've got playmakers.
And it's not that. It's the older veterans like the Thurman Thomases that help the younger players and bring them along, and Andre Reed to help the younger players. And they're very unselfish on this team, and that's why they're playing so well as a football team.
Coming up on CBS, coverage of the President's Cup. Down Under. It's coming up next. Immediately following our coverage of the Bills and the Raiders. International team leading the United States 14.5 points to 5.5. They are 2 points away from grabbing on hold to victory. Doug Flutie has the jacket on, and Rob Johnson, 5-year, $25 million contract, warming up on the sidelines. He was penciled in as the starter this year until Flutie just took over. Johnson actually went out because of injury, and then what could Wade Phillips do? Doug Flutie was getting the job done, and Rob Johnson finds himself in a familiar role as backup. He used to back up Mark Brunell in Jacksonville.
But a lot of people tend to forget when the Buffalo Bills turned their season around earlier this season in the 4th game against the San Francisco 49ers, Rob Johnson was the starting quarterback.
Wild card update, Tampa Bay has knocked off Pittsburgh 16-3. On the draw, Randy Jordan spun down just shy on the 40-yard line by Sam Coward, and you might have heard a reaction from the Bills fans here at the stadium because they understand what it takes for Buffalo to get into the postseason. A Pittsburgh loss, that's half of it, or maybe I should say a third of it, because Buffalo needs to get a victory, a Pittsburgh loss, and a Tennessee loss to Jacksonville to clinch the playoff spot here today. 1/3 is complete, just about 2/3, because Buffalo will win this game with only 7 minutes left. Harvey Williams taking it straight ahead to the 40-yard line. Pickup of a couple on first down and a flag down. That Jacksonville, Tennessee game very close, 13 apiece as they play in the 4th quarter.
That's got to be a personal foul on Gabe Northern. He was in the face of offensive guard Steve Wisniewski, and usually it's Wisniewski getting the foul, but I think he baited Gabe Northern. He wasn't the one that got caught at the end and gave him a shot at the end, but that's just a little frustration by the Raiders, but Gabe Northern has to know not to retaliate.
Personal foul, number 99, kicking the player while he was on the ground, 15-yard penalty from the end of the run, and automatic ejection.
So Gabe Northern has been tossed after returning an interception for a touchdown, 40 yards. On the very next series, Northern goes for an early shower.
And that's just selfishness and not playing smart. Even though you're winning the game and winning handily, you don't do something stupid at the end of a player at the end of the game. He's got his hands in his face at the end of the play, and I don't see the kick unless it comes right at the end. Right there's the kick, but that's just stupidity hurting your team, and that's a very selfish play by Gabe Northern. He should be more mature than that.
The team's up 30 points.
I know, it's ridiculous. I mean, it's ridiculous. You shouldn't do anything like that. And, that's not class. That's not how you finish off an opponent the right way.
Still a young player, 24 years old, but he is in his 3rd year. Randy Jordan. In Buffalo territory. Right around the 45-yard line. And the Oakland Raiders know that the end is near.
And not only that, Ian, flying all the way across country and getting defeated like this in a game you had to win. Now you've got to go all the way back across the country, and that's a long ride. And it's in the back of these players' mind. First, they almost get embarrassed in their mind coming across country to Buffalo.
Give you a strange statistic in a moment. Wilson back to throw. Underneath the coverage to Ricky Dudley. Whether or not you buy into it, but over the last 3 years, the Raiders have traveled to the Eastern time zone 8 times. They are 2-6 in those games. Now, that might be partly because of the travel schedule and the jet lag, and the other part of it might be that they just weren't very good football teams.
Well, I think it's a combination of both, but if you go back and look at the history of the NFL, when teams travel from west to east, a lot of the games are at 1 o'clock, and they're playing at 10 o'clock in their time zone, and a lot of those West Coast teams don't fare very well on the East Coast.
3rd and 7 from the 42. Counting down to 5 minutes left in the 4th. On the pitch, Randy Jordan. He's got a first down as he's forced out of bounds inside the 35-yard line. Clock stops, 5:10 showing.
And Bruce Smith, his 14th year in the NFL, does not like to come out of games. He's still out there when this game is in hand for the Buffalo Bills, and he just gives 100% on every play. It doesn't matter. He doesn't slow up. He travels down. He circles the field. It doesn't care for Bruce Smith. He is going to have contain. He is going to do what he's supposed to do, but he's always going to trail the play.
Bruce Smith remains in the game, which you have to question at this point. Did not come in at 100%. As Harvey Williams is forced to the sideline by Wayne Simmons. Smith with that banged up knee. He told us yesterday that he wasn't even sure if he was going to play in this game. Obviously came out, felt good about it, started the game, has played basically the entire way through, but you know, with 4:23 left,
there's no reason to have him in there. And that guy's got a warrior's heart right there. And he'll do whatever it takes for his team to win. And this is a point of the game where he should not be in there. He should be on the sidelines. He didn't practice the entire week and still came out here and performed, and very well he performed for this Buffalo Bill football team.
Smith today, 4 tackles, 1 sack. Phillips, the former defensive coordinator for the Bills. Tim Brown is in. Touchdown, Oakland. A 30-yard pass play. Wade Wilson hooked up with Brown for a touchdown last week when Wilson came in to replace Donald Hollis. And Wade Phillips not happy with his defense's effort.
Well, it's a blown coverage, and you expect help deep from the safety, but you've got to be on top of the play. And Henry Jones, the strong safety, really has that part of the zone. He needs to get deeper and at least stay with Tim Brown stride for stride. It's the only receiver in that zone area, but he didn't on that play. You don't like to give up a cheap play, particularly at the end of the game, and the Bills just did.
Should reiterate, Thomas Smith left this game in the first quarter, starting right cornerback for the Buffalo Bills with a sprained knee. He did not return. Under 4 minutes left. 44-21 Bills.
Start something special.
Picture a mid-size performance sedan so sophisticated, it's as adept at handling finances as it is the road. For a short time, get 0.99 financing on all 99 Oldsmobiles. That means average finance savings of $2,700 on Intrigue. At the Start Something special event at your Oldsmobile dealer now.
50,000 people are signing up for cell phone service today. You know what else? 148 million people are hooked up to the net. 7 billion emails are being sent. What's it all mean? There's a communications revolution going on, and one company is right in the middle of it all. Lucent Technologies. We make the things that make communications work.
We've come a long, long way together. I have to praise you like I should.
It's a holiday Raymond.
My parents, they haven't called or stopped by.
You know what that's called? A Merry Christmas.
An all-new Raymond, CBS Monday.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Nike and by Hertz. For business, for pleasure, nobody does it exactly like Hertz.
The Buffalo Bills are 3 minutes and 57 seconds away from improving to 9-5. Wade Wilson, 39 years old, getting the start for the Oakland Raiders, where the offense again did not have enough, giving up points as well. That's a great play by Lonnie Johnson. Off of the onside kick from Leo Araguz. Johnson just stepping in front. And now the Bills with tremendous field position at the 33-yard line of Oakland.
Well, the Buffalo Bills are just having fun right now. And they have their good hands team out there. They're all wide receivers, running backs, tight ends, guys that handle the ball a lot. And Lonnie Johnson does a great job of attacking this football and coming up with it.
Well, you see the score on your screen. The New York Giants have taken a 20-16 lead on the Denver Broncos Under a minute left in the fourth quarter, trying to hand Denver its first loss of the season. Rob Johnson has come in to replace Doug Flutie. Andre Reed, the motion man. Johnson on a pitch. Antoine Smith.
Antoine Smith from the pitch out.
Spun down at the 31-yard line by Grady Jackson. Smith coming into the day needed 77 yards to hit the 1,000-yard mark, and right now he's at 55 for the day.
And I like the idea of getting Rob Johnson some snaps. You never know what's going to happen in the playoff. You got a couple more weeks left. You want to keep your quarterbacks healthy, but you've got to get your backup guys some snaps in there and get them ready to play.
Doug Flutie told us yesterday that he went to a concert with Rob Johnson, and it turned out to be a real highlight of Johnson's life. He met Cher.
Gave her a limo ride. Her limo broke down, so he came back and picked her up in his limo and took her to the hotel.
That's the rumor. Antoine Smith brought down at the 15-yard line. Now with 73 yards on the ground, 4 shy of the 1,000-yard plateau.
And right now you're seeing the Antoine Smith drill. They're going to feed him the ball until he gets his 1,000, then he will leave the game. And like I stated before, he wants 1,400 or 1,500 yards, and that's where he feels he should be if he gets enough carries. But for him to pound it away, this is what you want to do at the end of a game. Just pound it away with your big offensive line and your running backs and kill the clock.
Guess where it's going? Antoine Smith moving ahead to the 10-yard line. A gain of 5, and that'll do it for Smith. He hits the 1,000-yard mark, the first Bill to do it other than Thurman Thomas since 1984. 2-minute warning. 44-21, Buffalo in front.
Is that Johnson's team behind us?
Exactly.
Are they members of Hertz #1 Club Gold?
Exactly.
Are we members of Hertz #1?
Not exactly.
So thanks to Hertz, they're going to get to the meeting on time.
And we'll be late?
So exactly what'll I tell the boss?
In Rent-A-Car, there's Hertz, and there's not exactly. Make sure you choose the right one.
And then a dog in the cargo hold ate our presentation.
Is he buying it?
Not exactly.
Hi, I'm Doug Flutie, pro football player and father of an autistic child. A lot of people buy Flutie Flakes because a portion of the proceeds go to help autistic children. But there's another way you can help. Dial 1010-220 when you call long distance. You can talk up to 20 minutes for only 99 cents. And every time you use it, a donation will be made to the Doug Flutie Jr. Foundation. So dial 1010-220, talk up to 20 minutes for only 99 cents, and help some great kids at the same time. It's a win-win situation. I wish football was this easy.
Guys, you've always made me look great, but I gotta let you go.
What?
I've got NFL Quarterback Club 99.
A video game's gonna protect your blind side?
Yeah, and also pick up the blitz. With all new gameplay and passing controls, it's a 3-step drop, and I'm moving the chains. Sorry, guys, NFL Quarterback Club 99 can get me to the Super Bowl, and I don't have to buy it dinner. The #1 football game on N64 just got a whole lot better. NFL Quarterback Club 99. Acclaimed sports, sweat the details.
In a 4-minute speech, he used the word private 6 times.
Private life. Private.
Who put those words in his mouth? You did. 60 Minutes, tonight.
Private lives.
Back in Buffalo, they have just announced to the crowd that Antoine Smith has hit the 1,000-yard plateau, and the first man to greet him, Thurman Thomas. Doug Flutie was there as well.
That's great. That's professionalism by Thurman Thomas, and nothing but a team here in Buffalo, and everybody's very unselfish with this football team.
It's called passing the baton and understanding your role, and Thurman Thomas, who's had an incredible career with the Buffalo Bills, recognizing that. Jonathan Linton getting the carry as he grinds it out inside the 10. James Harris and Russell Maryland making the stop. And the clock will move with 1:49 left and ticking. And you mentioned it earlier, Mark, the fact that it's a nice mix on this team. Young players, older players, and heir apparents. Doug Flutie helping to teach Rob Johnson, Thurman Thomas, and Antoine Smith, Andre Reed and Eric Moulds, and Bruce Smith, along with Marcellus Wiley, who the Bills hope will become a dominant pass rusher in the years to come. 3rd and 3. Keep it on the ground. And nothing there for Linton. He lost a couple on the play. Richard Harvey with the tackle. 4th down, a minute left.
And Wade Phillips is not going to rub this in by kicking a field goal. They're going to keep their unit on the field and run it again. And if they get a touchdown, great. If they don't, they just turn the ball over to Oakland. But that's class. And at this point in time, they scored enough points where it's not going to come down to a tiebreaker or anything like that. They've done their job. Offense, defense, special teams. His team played as a unit today, and there's no reason to rub it into this defensive football team of the Oakland Raiders.
4th and 5. Should be the final play. On the pitch, Linton. Knocked out of bounds by Calvin Branch. Linton wants the first down with 23 seconds left.
I don't think they're going to give it to him.
And Oakland will take over. It's a final. The Giants have defeated the Denver Broncos at the Meadowlands. And Denver is handed its first loss of the season.
There are probably a lot of happy faces of retired Miami Dolphins right now in the Miami area. Going undefeated, it was a great accomplishment by that team years ago, but Denver, this is what they talked about. And the last couple of weeks, the Broncos have kind of struggled. They had to come from behind last week against Kansas City, and they're not the dominant team they were 2-3 weeks ago.
So the 72 Dolphins record remains intact. And the New York Giants, who would have thought it, play the role of spoiler. 23 seconds left. Another score pertaining to this one. Tennessee and Jacksonville tied at 13 in the 4th quarter. If Jacksonville knocks off the Oilers, then the Buffalo Bills are going to the playoffs. Buffalo has taken care of business. The Bills cruise to a 44-21 victory over the Oakland Raiders, and they are on the brink of clinching a spot in the postseason. Buffalo improves to 9-5. The Raiders, they've fallen fast as they drop to 7-7. And after tonight, they might find themselves out of the playoff picture altogether. 44-21, Buffalo with the victory. The final, 44-21. Right now, let's join Jacksonville and Tennessee. Gus Johnson and Steve Tasker with the call.
Has been leading the way for this in the second half. But here, Al Del Greco.
Three Heismans are apparently better or not as good as one. That one being Doug Flutie. Welcome back to NFL Sunday Ticket. The Bills over Oakland 44-21. Other finals today, Washington and Carolina 28-25. Check out the upset at the Meadowlands 20-16. Other games you can check out still in progress. We'll see you later.
Mike Tyson is back. Tyson versus Botha, Saturday, January 16th, live on pay-per-view.
Now please welcome the voice of the Carolina Panthers, Bill Rosinski, and the head coach of the Carolina Panthers, Dom Capers. How you doing, guys?
It's my pleasure to welcome you to Pro Football Weekly, the video version of the best coverage in the NFL.
Hi again, everybody. Welcome to the Allegheny University Hospital's Ray Rhodes Show.
Welcome to Seahawks Sunday, along with Sam Atkins. I'm Paul Sylvie, Tez with the broken leg.
And go behind the scenes at the making of the ticket commercial.
You have to play better than what you think you can. So when the game's over, you did something that you didn't think you could do, but you did it.
Now you can own a piece of the NFL legacy on CD. It's the music and voices that legends are made of.
Professional football in America is a special game.
Pick up the Power and the Glory CD from NFL Films and Tommy Boy Music and make every day a Sunday. The Power and the Glory. It's your ticket to the NFL experience.
Is this fun or what?
And make it difficult to field so their coverage can get down. No flags on.